What's up, Scapers? It's Takiru here. No pores allowed. That's what the sentiment is from the Jagex higher ups. This is so frustrating. Jagex still hasn't learned their lesson from the last time this happened, from every time this has happened. They still haven't learned their lesson. What's the lesson? Listen to your players. We can help you make the right decisions. We offer you all sorts of advice. And maybe if you tried thinking the way we thought and tried thinking for greed, people wouldn't riot every time you make an update, every time you try to make a change. This time, they're trying to increase the membership of bonds to equal that of World of Warcraft's membership, $15. They've been eking it closer and closer and closer to that number for years now, and it is finally about to push to that number. What's the upshot, though? World of Warcraft gets multiple characters for a single membership. How many? 2? Maybe? No. 3, 4? No. 5, 6, 7, 8? Try to keep your thumb straight? Nope. 65 characters you can have on World of Warcraft. You can experience every class, every level type you want, every type of specific little niche account, stupid meme accounts, restricted accounts, area accounts. Like, you can do anything you want. The hardcore, the regular modes, whatever you want to do. For $15 a month, 65 characters. How many characters do we get in old school? One! One character, bro, for one membership. One character per membership. They still haven't learned this lesson. This was a massive W left on the table from the last negotiations when we had the last. Remember the survey? Have they forgotten the survey? And how we really, all we wanted was a couple of more characters. Look, they already have our Jagex accounts all figured out, especially those on the laptops and computer. We have our Jagex launcher has all of our characters already contained. So all they would have to do is just merge them all together completely and then just under one membership. But they refuse because they know that the few of us with money are willing to pay multiples. But what about the rest of us who want to play the multiple accounts? I have at least 3 accounts waiting on the sidelines wanting to do something with them. I have an incredible alt account called Altakiru who has Dragon Slayer 2, Beneath Cursed Sands. Dude has he's Toho ready. He can duo Bandos. He's a tank for Bandos. Has a maxed out player owned house that has helped me earn millions upon millions upon millions. But I don't have the money to bond them anymore. I have no money. I don't have a job. If you know me, I used to be homeless, living in a van playing this game, streaming this game off of Lowe's Wi-Fi. The last Dragon Cup that I earned by being homeless, mobile only. I may be the only player in the world to have the mobile only, homeless Dragon Cup. I don't think anybody else went that hard during leagues that was homeless too and mobile only. It's a niche thing, but that's my record. That's my claim to fame, baby. I did that. I lived in a fucking van and I spent months trying to get that Dragon Cup and I got it. And I was really proud. And then what happened? The league's rewards sucked. The Dragon Cup sucked. The cup had no cool animation. It was more stock than the first one, I'd say. Instead of cool like this one has a unique flame and everything, but the new one was just like a joke. Anyway, what I'm trying to get at, guys, leagues was a disaster, but like the end of leagues, I'd say at least. But Leagues makes them a lot of money. They know that Leagues is coming up again soon. They know that people are gonna like subscribe en masse. And here's the thing: if you cancel your membership because you're pissed off about this membership increase, you actually shot yourself in the foot a little bit because they want you to do that. Because the people that stay get grandfathered into old price ranges and stuff. So if you cancel your membership and then come back in a couple of months, you're going to be forced to pay that higher amount. But oh my goodness, I have so much on my like I don't even know where to start. They're not listening. They're just not listening. From our last negotiations, from the survey, you remember the survey? I'm going to bring this up again. World of Warcraft allows the players to have 65 accounts for a single $15 a month membership. Old school RuneScape and RuneScape allows us to have one per membership. And now they're about to be equal prices. So the competition is now going to have a better deal and more. And I mean, let's be honest. Old school RuneScape is not a AAA game. This is a reboot of a nostalgic classic running on a fucking potato. This game is so small that running it on data on my mobile phone cost me less than 200 megabytes of data to play this game for an entire month. This game is so small and so basic. It should be $1 a month and they would still be profitable. And here's the thing. I want to let you know. We had some crazy ideas. Me and my girlfriend, first off, helped me stop being homeless. First off, big shout out. Second, loves this game and had a lot of great ideas and helped me write out all these great ideas and all these bullet points for what we're talking about today, okay? Look. Other games are doing it right. We also play a game called Warframe. You may have heard of it. It's fairly popular, but not everyone has. Warframe is primarily an over-the-shoulder, like a third-person shooter game. It's based in like space, right? You can go to the different planets. It's often it's often called ninjas in space. I like to call it Destiny if it were fun. So one of the things is they are a free to play game. You can play Warframe completely for free. They also have a premium currency, which is technically earnable through in-game actions. All right, you can earn a weapon, sell it to another player, and earn the premium currency, what is called platinum. Okay, platinum is also something you can buy for 250 platinum for like $5, something like that. Okay, Warframe encourages you essentially to be free and go ahead and do whatever you want. But they also continuously offer good deals on their premium currency. Recently, okay, so these deals, sorry, hold on. These deals can go from anywhere from 10 or 20% off of platinum to 10 to 20% bonus platinum, and these numbers can go really high. They can go to 50% off or 50% bonus platinum. Sometimes even as high as 100, 150 or 200% bonus platinum or 200% off the deal. These deals range all sorts of crazy ways and they get people excited to buy platinum, okay? If the price increased for platinum in Warframe, few people would be excited. Fewer people would buy it. Straight up. Why would they? Okay? But because they continuously are offering 50% off, 100% off, 100% bonus, 20% off, people get excited. Recently, they did a slight change to the system of how you get platinum. I know this is a different game, but please bear with me here. They recently changed the system to platinum to where you don't get as many extra items when you buy your big platinum bonuses. But as a thank you and an encouragement to try and continue buying platinum, when they did this change to the platinum system, they offered a buy one, get one free bonus, which means you get twice as much. So when that bonus came around, me and my girlfriend both love playing Warframe. And we weren't having a existential crisis of whether we want to quit this game because of the price differences and the changes to the system and this and that. We weren't rioting in the streets. What happened? Me and my girlfriend, because of the BOGO deal, we went to the shop immediately as soon as that happened and had a discussion between us. We literally discussed spending as much as we possibly could and still have enough budget for like food and rent. We spent as much as we could, and we have a tight budget. We're not rich, okay? We talked about how much can we spend? As much as we can spend is what we decided on. All right? I'm not going to say how much, but we spent a decent amount on a free to play game is what I'm saying. Happily, with glee. Okay? Change channels back to RuneScape. What's going on here? They want to raise the price. They want to raise the price again. Again. It keeps happening. Every 6 to 12 months for the last, since COVID has come out. They're acting as though, because remember when COVID happened, all prices of everything went up because of surge pricing, because of people were laid off or had to go home for work, and so it was harder for them to do their jobs, and so blah 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 blah. It was like shipping routes and stuff were made more difficult and stuff. Well, COVID is fucking over. Yeah, people still get sick now and then, but there's no more shutdowns. Everybody's back to work now. Why are we still acting like COVID surge pricing is okay? This is a global thing. Like, everything sucks now. RuneScape's just like, this is just a symptom of a grand issue going on with the world. Prices of everything blows right now. Rent is beyond acceptable. Like, the fact that like a place like this, thousands a month. I'm lucky to just be here, okay? Why? Because the landlords know that they can get away with it. Because somebody will pay it, okay? Affordable housing isn't a thing. Gas prices keep going up. Well, okay, food prices keep going up. Like, are we making twice as much money? Are you making twice as much money as like 3 or 4 years ago? Well, because everything costs twice as much. The people at top know that they can squeeze us for as much as they can, and they don't care if we end up homeless. They don't care if a couple of us quit, as long as somebody's still paying, as long as somebody's still there putting the money in the kitty. They don't care, and they don't think with like a benefactor's mind. They don't think like, they think only with greed. If I were running a company like Jagex, I would run it like the Arizona Tea Company. In America, we have the Arizona Tea Company. I don't know if it's international, but hey, we have this great tea company, and the price has been 99 cents for like 20 plus years. And the CEO famously is known for saying like, well, it's still profitable. I have a paid off house. I have a paid off car. I still get to do vacations and everything I could ever want. I don't need like an Uber yacht. I don't need to like geopolitically like have all sorts of influence. I'm happy. I have what I need, and the people still are getting what they want, a good product for 99 cents. And it's a huge can. It's a huge can. It's like a freaking 8-inch freaking can. It's like 32 fluid ounces. It's a lot of drink for 99 cents still. Still. Because he can. Jagex could charge $1 a month for RuneScape and it would still be profitable. I swear to you. And you know how many people would join up for $1 a month? The $1 a month membership deal. How about that? Join, instead of making the membership more, $40 a month more, offer people $1 a month membership. Maybe just once, but everybody can access it. One email, $1 a month membership. Boom. Come on in. Come on in. Get on in here. Come play this game. See if you like it for $1. Try membership. Try everything we got for $1. And then try hitting them with the full price. See what happens. Try that. My girlfriend even said, give everybody free membership for a month. Why not? It would cost you literally nothing. And they would get hooked on this game. They would see what is all the fuss is about. And then they would probably happily pay for that membership. Half of people probably would be like, you know what? This game is pretty dope. I think I'll stick around and I'll pay that. Hopefully not 15, but I'll pay that amount a month. Ideally, I wanted to talk about this. This is the battle of the great. I want to call this the battle of the great 8. The great battle for 8. Whatever. I don't know. Maybe I could be a little bit more snappy on that, but we're calling it the great battle for 8. RuneScape membership should be $8. We should be able to have no fewer than 8 accounts on that membership. And why don't we have this? Because we're fighting 8 greedy executives making decisions against all of us. They don't want us to have what we want. They want their, you know what used to happen in Jagex? The more memberships they got, they would go on something called jollies, which are essentially expensive holidays. They would go bungee jumping and skydiving and catamaraning and kayaking and riding ATVs, and they got a fucking tank one time and rode a tank around. Apparently it's in Ukraine now or whatever, but like, listen, that's still what they're doing. I don't know if all the Jagex mods are involved in this, but like that probably is still what's going on. Is they're taking all of our membership money and just blowing it on stupid, crazy adventures and shit like that, and more yachts and more influence and more profits, while we're just getting sucked dry. And they know that they have us because this game is a nostalgic hook for most of us. This is a lot of people's identity. I am Takeru. Like, this is my thing. I've been playing this game since the very beginning. I have the oldest account that is active in the world. Prove me wrong. Let's go to Hans right now. I've been around since the very, very beginning. This is my identity. But I'm willing to quit. I'm always willing to quit. I was very willing to quit. Like, this game got me out of homelessness. But I'm not so precious about it to just say, oh, I have to stay no matter what the cost is. No. If they won't learn their lesson, we will quit. I quit last year for a solid, 8 months. Over the survey, they're just callousness towards the community after it. The bullshit rewards from Leagues 5. Hold on. We had a whole list of L's right here. Yeah. Yama contracts were bugged. You couldn't beat the contracts when they released. Leagues 5 rewards were bugged and bullshit. The Dragon Cup was a less intricate cup than year 1 in my opinion. The survey, they still haven't learned their lesson from the survey. We want more than one character per account. If you're gonna charge us so much fucking money, you had better make that concession. And we're not gonna shut up or keep quitting. We're gonna keep quitting until you make this concession. We want, if you're gonna charge us World of Warcraft prices, give us World of Warcraft bullshit. We want the multiple accounts. We lost our max capes because of sailing. And I had to go back and get my God imbued God cape recently because I had my max cape taken away. I had to go get another assembler. I had to go get another fire cape. And I'm also trying to work on 99 sailing. It's taking me months to get 99 sailing just so I can get my stupid max cape back so I can go play the rest of the game. I'm pissed. They put they did an extension. They made us play kind of a bullshit skill, honestly, for months just to elongate our memberships. And now they're saying we're going to charge you more. What's this? Hold on. Bro, no one cares. Okay. Well, you know what? Obviously people care. There's 100 people in Falador, bro. What do you mean no one cares? Hundreds of people care about this. Every RuneScaper that's on YouTube is making a video about this. Everybody cares about this. You don't care about this? What, are you one of the executives getting rich off of all these players? And they're suffering? Do you not care? What's wrong with you, Kroops? They keep trying to diversify their company with stupid decisions. Like, remember Dragon Wilds? They made like a quick $20 million off of selling Dragon Wilds. And then just abandoned it. It was a flash in the pan. It was a joke. Dragon Wilds was nothing but an asset dump. It was a Valorant style game that was already in production from another company that they bought for like $100,000, threw the wise old man and a whip in it, and what was that? What there was like one or two other characters, and like that was it. A dragon? Oh, it's got a dragon in it. Whoop de fucking! It's got a whip in it. Whoop de fucking do. Oh yeah, this is really RuneScape. It was $20 for everybody. I bought it, and it was bullshit. And this is just the kind of things that they think like, oh, this is a great decision. We're gonna charge these people for one more thing. It's silly, and then we're just gonna dump it. And this is how what happens. Sneaky says, or you can earn gold in PVM and bond up, Lamel. I mean, okay, but here's the thing. That bond was bought by somebody. Somebody paid Jagex what the I don't even know how much. I've never purchased a bond. What, 8, 10, 20 bucks? I don't even fucking care. Somebody purchased that bond, paid Jagex money, and then you're going and PVMing for that. So technically, there's just an extra middleman, but the PVMer that's just getting money from in game and then buying a bond is also paying Jagex. Technically, there's just another middleman, and so I don't even feel comfortable doing that. I prefer to pay money for membership because then I don't have to worry about, oh, I have to go do Vorkath for like 15, 20 hours, or no, not even that much, but I have to go do Vorkath for like 5 hours just to pay for this, or I have to go do this other skill, or get really lucky at Toa or something just to pay for a bond every single 2 weeks. I don't have to worry about that. I prefer to pay Jagex money. I love this game. I want to pay Jagex money. Take my fucking money. Just not that much. It's too much, man. They keep trying to raise it, like they're using the excuse, it seems, of the COVID pricing. Everything rose when COVID was out. Well, COVID's over. Drop the price back down. What's the problem? Why are we still? It's just greed. It's just greed. They don't. We could have a company. There's got a lot of people listening to me right now. Why can't Jagex be like the Arizona Tea Company? This game is still profitable, just like Arizona Tea. At 99 cents for 30 years, Arizona Tea has been 99 cents. It's still profitable. The CEO, the owner of the company says, I don't need millions and millions of dollars, man. I got a paid for house. I got a paid for, I got a paid for a car and a lovely wife and family, and my kids all paid for college, and everything's fine, dude. I don't need millions. Everything's cool. So 99 cents can still profitable. We're doing it. We're doing it. And like I said, RuneScape could be $1 a month. And I show how it could work. $1 a month. Get them in for $1 one time. Every email gets a $1 a month promo. $1 for one time. And you can get people in, and then they'll get hooked. And then maybe they'll pay them more. But I think we need to demand. This is the great battle for 8. The great battle for 8. RuneScape membership should be $8. It could still be profitable at $8. We should have no fewer than 8 accounts per account. 8 characters per account. World of Warcraft has 65. 65 for $15. And RuneScape wants to pay $15 for one. People will leave. People will play World of Warcraft. They'll do something else. Fuck. I don't even. I'll give up. I'll just go keep playing my skate games. That's where I quit to for the last like 8 months. That's why you haven't seen me. That's why nobody knows who I am anymore. Because I've been playing Session and EA Skate, which sucked, and Skater XL and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 and Scuba Eats and Riders Republic, and I've been playing all those fun games because that's what I also enjoy. But I really prefer to play RuneScape. I'd like to talk about this game in a fun way. I love sharing tips and tricks, how to kill bosses, how to farm and get the most money. I love hosting my player-owned houses. I have 2 maxed out POHs that I love playing, but I can't pay for 2 memberships if they're going to be hundreds a year. I want to play both accounts. If it was World of Warcraft, I could have 65 different accounts going. And we need the more characters on a single account because, first off, they already have the Jagex account. The Jagex launcher already has all of your accounts merged together. Why can't they put it into a single account? Why can't they put the different characters in a single account? Why not? I don't know what the heck is wrong with them. They need to stop making excuses. This was the major concession left on the table from the last negotiation. When they brought out the survey, this was the main thing that we demanded was multiple characters on a single account if you're going to charge us that much. If you're going to dare to charge us for World of Warcraft prices, you better give us some of those World of Warcraft amenities, specifically the multiple characters per account. Serious about this. We're not going to shut the fuck up about it. I will keep saying it over and over and over on this live stream all day fucking long until they fucking do it. Give us multiple characters for a single account. If you're going to charge us for the World of Warcraft prices, give us the World of Warcraft amenity. The multiple characters per a single account. I will sound like a broken fucking record. You'll be so sick of hearing me say it until they give it to us, finally. Because this is why I quit last time. They think they can charge us AAA prices, but they give us grade single A bullshit. Grade F bullshit. They won't even try. They won't even try. They want to say, oh, well, look at the game's got sailing now. Look, we did Dead Man mode. Look at we're doing leagues again in a new raid. Boo fucking who? You have to do your fucking jobs. Boo fucking who? We don't want to. Doesn't mean you get to get paid twice as fucking much. Do we get paid twice as fucking much? Is it technically twice as much content? No. You missed leagues last year. That pissed me off. There was no leagues last year at all. What happened? Just nothing. Nothing happened. Okay, well, so we delayed leagues for a year and still want your money for it. Like, huh? No. 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 I have 3 Dragon Cups. I have a full clan hall. Like, a full leagues hall. Excuse me. Like, I might just not play this next league. I love leagues! It's my favorite thing. It's my favorite video game thing in the world, probably. I might not do it. If they're gonna do this, if they're gonna make this bullshit, if they still haven't learned their lesson, multiple accounts for the single membership price. Or I'm done. I'm done. I quit last year over this bullshit, and they still haven't learned their lesson. I'm here again to say, this is what we demand. Multiple characters, or we quit. That's it. You have so many different things going on. So many. You have main character, Iron Man, group Iron Man, hardcore Iron Man, ultimate Iron Man, pure accounts, different types of PKing accounts you might want. What if you want to play leagues, but you also want to play your main character? Like, what the fuck are you supposed to do with your little Taters to Poe account? You want to just like do a farming account and make it until you earn a player owned house? That's awesome. What about your alt account that you have that already has a player owned account? So you want to do it? There's 10 accounts that I might want to run. 10 accounts I just counted right here. I'd love to play them, and the variety would be so much fun, and the hugest, it would be the easiest win ever! RuneScape now has the ability to play on 10 different accounts. On one account, 10 different characters you can play, all merged into one. You can play Iron Man, your Ultimate, your Alt account, your Group account. You can play your Leagues account. You can play your Dead Man account. You can play your Ultimate. You can play your freaking whatever. You can play your Taters to Poe. You can play your main character. All on one. All for the same great price. Come on back to RuneScape, folks. We love you here. We want you to be here. We want your money, and we're going to give you one of the easiest things that you asked for ever. We already have the Jagex launcher with all of your accounts all together in one already. We already have the infrastructure. We just have to push the fucking button that basically decided that they think that as long as they keep the membership separate, they'll keep earning more money. When honestly, it would bring more people in and make them excited to pay about membership if they could have all of the characters on a single account. This is the main concession that was left on the table from the survey. They wouldn't give us the multiple accounts. And I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick of it. They just won't listen. It would have been so easy. Dude, recently, the game EA Skate, right? EA Skate has been floundering. Floundering ever since it came out. Floundering, floundering, floundering. Look, I have only 2 days of membership left. I might not renew via bond or purchased membership. I might just give up. I might fucking quit. I'm over this shit, man. They have not given me a reason to stay. Guys, EA's Skate has been floundering since it came out. It started with, they said 3 million people signed up when it released for the open beta. Over 300,000 people were playing it at one time when it released. There are fewer than 3,000 people still playing, and it is less than 7 months from the open release. Less than 1% of players are still playing it. And there's a lot of complaints. I don't want to get into the weeds with EA Skate because I'm trying to show an example right here and get back to RuneScape. EA Skate had what's kind of maybe based on RuneScape. They have something called the tutorial island. All right, you start off on this island. You get a skateboard. You bomb a mega ramp. You hit a slalom track down to the bottom, and then you do a couple of like grinds, flips, and tricks before the AI character tells you to get on a boat to the mainland. Okay, most players spend less than a half hour on this island before going to the mainland and then can't go back. There's no return trip. There's no way to get back. The only way to get back is to make a new account. Okay, you can make a new email. You can then sign up or make another PlayStation account or whatever. However it works on your system, you can make different accounts and play the tutorial island again. It's actually a really fun island. It has about 50% as much content as the mainland has size-wise, and has some huge bombable mega ramps, a really nice hidden skate park to the left that most people didn't even notice on their tutorial run through. And in general, there's a lot of great content there that just kind of gets looked over. And so a lot of players during the floundering phase of EA Skate, when people were quitting a lot, players for weeks were saying, just bring back the tutorial island, man. It would be so easy. Bring back the tutorial island. That's all you have to do. Ooh, lots of comments just came in all at once. I'm sorry, I didn't read all these because I just saw them come in. Give me just a second to finish this thing about EA. Guys, they decided, finally, after many YouTubers said, bring back the tutorial island. EA actually kind of listened and they decided, okay, we're going to bring back the tutorial island. But they called it something else. They called it the Isle of Grom. They gave it like 25% more like of a little area to the side. It really doesn't make that big of a difference. And then the spit in the face was they decided to put it behind a paywall. They said you have to buy the premium skate pass to be able to go to the Isle of Grom, the island that was free to play for everybody when you started, and technically it's still free to play if you want to just make a new account. So it's technically charging for something that was free. And what's more, in one of their original dev streams, they said we'll never put new areas behind paywalls, and that's a lie. And so what I'm trying to get at is this is what happens when a company takes a massive W and transmutes it, alchemizes it, if you will, high alchs it into an L. The biggest W left on the table by Jagex is the merging of multiple characters on a single account. It's the biggest thing that they refuse to do for some reason, or keep making excuses for, that would please the most of us, while they try to say, we want to charge you more, okay? If they want to charge us the equivalent of the World of Warcraft membership, which is $15 a month, then they should give us the multiple characters per account. World of Warcraft has 65 different characters that they can do in a single paid membership. We have one. I'd like to run an alt account. I'd like to run my Iron Man account. I have an almost maxed out main. I'm sorry, almost maxed out alt account with a maxed POH that I'd like to play, but I don't have the money for the. I definitely don't have the money to pay for membership, and I don't really have the gold lying around to keep the bonds going. If we could all have it under one membership, maybe you could be fun. Maybe I would speak better things about this game. Let me see. What's going on? We got people showing up. I'm gonna read some of the comments because we have missed a lot of them. All right, so Zoo1820 says suffering, Lamau. I mean, I'd say we're suffering. They keep wanting to up the prices when it's not like a lot of us are losing our jobs or like are barely able to eat, and they keep wanting to raise the prices. The Jagex executives aren't suffering; they're living it up. Last leagues earned them $20 million. The sale of Dragon Wilds was $6 to $10 million. This company is they're eating. They are eating, and we are suffering. We still don't have good player support. We still don't have. We didn't get leagues last year. We still don't have multiple characters per single account. It's just a joke. Let's see here. Zeus says stupid decisions like our company needs more money. Yes, I'm gonna agree with that. Zoo says neckbeard discovers inflation. Wow, you guys are fun. Okay. Farzo says W Jagex move. We're finally getting rid of the pores. Yeah, so yeah, that's kind of like the Jimmy sentiment, right? No more pores, right? You know, this game is supposed to be an escape. It's literally in the name, although not intentionally. This game is supposed to be an escape. When we were kids, it was an escape from our mom and dad telling us to do our chores or do our homework, or yelling at us, and beating us and shit. We'd go play RuneScape when we were sick of our parents, or like when we were done with the long day of school. And when we were adults, when we were done with our job, we just want to play some fucking RuneScape. Now it's like literally, it would make more sense to like go spend an hour at work than to kind of actually play this game to get the money. I don't even want to get into it. Look, it's not working. Um, Zeus says, yeah, and WoW sucks. Yeah, I agree. Schmidt says, WoW has like 12 classes or something though. Yeah, but that they even I know that WoW is different, but just the fact that the one similarity still is that the price is the same almost. They're equaling the prices now. That has been a precipice that people are like, well, why would you charge us WoW prices if you're not going to give us the multiple accounts? That's really the big sticking point. I don't want I can't get over that. So yeah, they have multiple classes, but they have so many more characters that they're able to do. They can do like that's still like 5 different characters for every class. Omnicron Persei 8. What's up, Omnicron Persei 8? Says bro could be out earning money IRL and he is throwing a fit about a game. I've been trying really hard to get a job. I lost the job that I loved due to circumstance. I'm not even going to get into it, but like basically a circumstance out of my control. I lost my job that I loved and I prefer to work actually. And I've been really struggling for almost a year now to get another job. And I mean, if you want to say I'm just being lazy and just complaining about a game, I mean, go ahead. But you don't know me. You don't know me. Um, and it says, let's see, Sneaky Gecko says, but you're mad they added new things to the game like sailing, and you had to actually play the game. Okay, I mean, it's just like I was fully aware that sailing was going to be kind of just like a huge parenthesis on like what I wanted to do. Like, oh, okay, wait, we got to stop and do like 99 sailing before we can enjoy the game. I was fully aware that was going to happen, and I tried my best to enjoy sailing. I was pretty positive about it. I don't really have that much shit to talk about sailing. I just hate that it took away my cape, and I hate that it made me do something I don't really want to do for so long instead of going and killing Yama. Like I'm pretty good at killing Yama and getting drops there. I'm really good at Toa, and I've gotten every drop there. Like I'd much rather be doing that, but without my max capes, it's a little bit harder. I actually did a Toa last night without my max capes, and it was a lot harder without all the bonuses and stuff, and extra switching, which I just, it's just, come on, man. I mean, all right. Let me see here. Zoo says, brother, every year they increase the membership price, then the neckbeards cry and say everyone will quit, and then there's another player record that year. Yeah, it's an interesting thing, right? It is an interesting dichotomy how there is record player bases, but they still can't seem to keep the veterans happy. Like there's a lot of new players coming over. I think it's because everything sucks right now. Everything sucks so much that even though this game sucks, even though this game is costing more, that they'd rather be here than World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy or wherever they're coming from. They'd rather be here. And this game is in, like, they call it the platinum era of old school RuneScape. I agree. It's a pretty good era of RuneScape. Ups and downs. We do have like some of the best content ever now, but like yeah, I'm still gonna have some problems with it. I think it's really shocking to see so many comments against me and calling me like a neckbeard and stuff. I mean, I'm really not that offended by it, but I think it's shocking to see so many people simping for the executives and basically just shitting on me for having an opinion. I guess it's the internet. What else are you gonna say? Let's see here. Let's see. Nah, I was here to troll, but low-key you kind of spitting. I think that says it all right there. Why are you playing then? Again, um, if I quit in this very moment and said nothing, I would feel remiss. If right now I just went and played just another game and just felt defeated about this, I would feel as though I left something on the table. And for me, this game, like, if like I have the oldest active account in the world. Prove me wrong. Let's go to Hans right now. My account is older than yours. I've been around here longer than you. And it's not really a rank thing, but I want to let it be known that this game is essentially my personality, and I feel really strongly about my connection to RuneScape, the community, to my character and the world that I live in the game. Like it's very important to me, and I think a lot of us feel the same way. And so when the executives try and pull a fast one on us saying, "Oh, we're just going to charge you just 30 bucks more, 40 bucks more a month." It's not that big a deal, right? I mean, you're already paying more for gas and rent and shit, like what's just 40 more bucks? What's just 2, 3 bucks extra a month? But they're also taking away the 6-month membership options. And they're also removing the premier option for the 12 months. And they're not giving us any deals. They're not giving us any like, oh, by fucking, you get a bond for $1 or anything, or like, or here's a free bond, for because just cause, or there's no such deals. Like I'm gonna bring it back to Warframe again because there's a lot more people than I said it last time. I play Warframe. It's often called Ninjas in Space. I like to refer to it as Destiny if it were fun. This is a game that is pretty addicting, but it's also free and has a premium currency, but you can earn this premium currency in game with your actions. If you grind out weaponry and armor and sell it to other players, you can get premium currency. And what's up, Slowburger? With the 99 sailing? What's up, bud? Um, no, your account is older. I mean, let's go to Hans right now, bro. I will bet you a bond right now. I'll bet you a bond. My account is at least 1,000 days older than you. Right now. Right now. Uh, anyway, the point is, you can either buy platinum in Warframe, or you can earn it in game. I'm poor. I don't have a lot of extra money. Okay. I used to be the homeless, mobile only RuneScaper. I earned my last Dragon Cup from Lowe's Wi-Fi living out of a van. I'm the first person ever to earn a mobile only Dragon Cup while being homeless. It's a niche thing, but I did it, dude. I love this game. I love Warframe. And me and my girlfriend love Warframe. And it's a free to play game. And we don't have to spend money on the platinum. But you know what? Every now and then they do a crazy deal. They say, we're going to give you 50% bonus platinum this weekend. Just, if you buy some platinum, you get 50% bonus. Why not? It doesn't it doesn't change their metrics. And you know what? When they do these deals, me and my girlfriend often have the discussion. Hey babe, how much do you want to spend on platinum? Do you want to get some platinum? Yeah. Okay, how much? Um, as much as we can afford. Does that sound good? And we kind of look at each other and say, yeah, okay, yeah, all right. 20, 40, 50 bucks, 50 bucks, whatever. Yeah, we can do that. All right. And like every other weekend, they come around with these deals and we kind of look at each other. Hey, how much you want to get on platinum? Okay, we can as much as we can. All right, let's do as much as we can again because we like the game, and they give us such good deals that we're enthusiastic to spend our money on it. RuneScape, although, is not giving us any good deals. They're not giving us any reason to come back, other than just the regular content that is normally coming out. They don't like. I'm not enthusiastic to spend my money, especially when they keep rising the price without the concessions that we asked for last time. They haven't learned their lesson from the last time. What was the last time this happened? Dude, it was the survey. You remember the survey, right? The survey where they're like, "Oh, we want to charge you for multiple accounts." But then they didn't give it to us. And we said, if you're going to charge us for World of Warcraft AAA video game prices, you better give us the multiple characters per account. It's shameful that they haven't done that. And I won't shut up about this because the squeaky wheel gets the grease. This is the thing they need to change. They need to give us no fewer than 8 accounts per account, per membership. No fewer. This game would still be profitable if they charged membership for $1 a month. But they keep deciding to raise it. Excuses like, oh, COVID, made things expensive, and so we just had to keep raising things up. I'm honestly shocked at these comments. I'm honestly shocked. If you want to protest, stop playing. Okay, well, how would I make my voice heard if I just didn't do anything? Let's see here. Did No Monkey show up? Apparently, somebody said No Monkey, love your videos. I'm not No Monkey, but thank you. I guess I don't know what. Let's see here. The Jimmy sentiment was a joke. No, I know. No, bro. I think we all understand the no pores is like a sarcasm thing. Sailing's the best skill we have. Um, I'm not gonna argue with it. I prefer other skills, but it was a good update. I don't particularly have a problem with sailing, but it's just it just stopped me from doing what I wanted to until the grind was over. It was just kind of a necessary speed bump, if you will, to my progress. Um, yeah. Let's see here. Doofy says it ain't that bad. Yeah, imagine bots and Osrs, the current situation, grinding out content to get premium currency. What does that do to bonds? Hold on. What does that do to bonds? Hold on. I didn't read that comment with like my full brain. Hold on. Bots and Osrs, the current situation, grinding out content to get premium currency. Okay. You know what? That's a good concept. I don't think there's as many like bots for like Warframe as there are in RuneScape. The bots are very, very simple here in this game, and there's a lot of little corners of the world that they can hide, a lot of worlds that they can hide in. Like I found a bot farm the other day in Prifddinas in the mine. There's 4 rune rocks that like I like to go to those rocks because you can get the crystal these little fucking I got 310 of them in my inventory. What are they called? Shards, crystal shards. You can get the crystal shards while mining. I have the Varrock plate body and the gloves to get extra. I also have the mining cape, which gives sometimes an extra. And so I have all these boosts to get like sometimes up to 4 rune rocks per rock. but I'm fighting all these bots. And usually when I report bots, a couple days later I get that message when you log in that says, "Hey, we banned a couple of bots." I reported no fewer than 15 accounts that were obviously like the lowest level you could possibly get to prifdiness with, very robotic movements, and they're only level over 99 and often up to sometimes 120 was mining. These are obvious bots, and I haven't gotten a single of those messages saying we banned any of those accounts. And it's just like, so I really wonder, do they deal with the bots like they say they do? I know sometimes it feels like a Sisyphean effort because there's always going to be more bot accounts. There's always going to be more like types of bots that they don't know how to deal with. But I really feel like they aren't even trying. And so it does cause a lot of in-game disruption with the economy and stuff. Let's see here. Let's see here. Where were we? Where were we? I really appreciate all the comments, even the negative ones. It's engagement. Say fuck you. Go ahead. Like I don't care. Um, tricks. Sorry, excuse me. No, Tradix Music says, why don't you just go to the Hans right now? Then, oh, okay. Well, we can go to Hans if you want. I honestly prefer not to show the number on screen because I think that's one of the things that they can use to hack you. But I mean, we could freaking battle it out for date wise if you really want. And then Soldier Boy did it first. Yep, Soldier Boy and that hoe trying to crank it. Watch me roll. I got over 20 years on my account, and I have a dream to have the oldest. So if you want to give me a bond, you are on. I mean, I ain't giving you a bond today. If you really want to lose a bond, we can go to Lumbridge. If you really want to lose a bond, we can go to Lumbridge. Let's see here. Why do we need good deals? What kind of question is that? What kind of question is that? Why not give us good deals? What kind of where is your mind that you don't want a good deal? That's obviously a troll comment. Doofy saying not giving you any reason to come back. You're literally saying you have the oldest account in RuneScape. I really love playing this game, man, and I'd love to keep playing it, but they keep pissing me off, dude. And I have, and I will quit with some seriousness. I used to pay for membership. I don't anymore after the survey. I quit paying for money for membership. I only occasionally bond up when the new content comes out, or and I'm like on the bubble. I always want to say nice things about this game, but when this happens, we got to speak up. We can't just let the greed continue. We can't let it continue. And if you don't say anything, nothing will happen. Let's see here. Relusion says you guys need to touch some grass instead of being terminally online trolls. I'm not sure if that's referring to me or the commenters. I'm just gonna leave that one. Doofy, 8 accounts? Who the fuck has 8 accounts? I have at least 5, and I'd prefer to have more because I want Iron Man accounts that I'd like to run. Um, Of course, I may not be active on all of these accounts, but being able to access them on a single account would be really nice. Having all my characters on a single account, and I can go like right now, like multiple times a day. I think, you know what? I'd really like to be like on my alt account running my POH because I have a maxed out POH and I could do it. I could have people coming and doing bones, and I could have them making doing teleporting all around and making their little teleport tabs and stuff, and making money on the alt account all the time. But I think, you know what? Is it really worth 15 mil worth of bond or 15 bucks a month to pay for it just so I could maybe have that option of maybe making money at my POH or maybe going bossing once or twice, every now and then, and maybe getting lucky? It's often a no. But that's the way I prefer to play. I got that ADHD, baby. I need to be doing multiple things at once. Having 2, 3 accounts at once, boom. Having 3, 4 accounts at once, boom. I love it. I love having one account on the POH and 3 accounts making house tabs. Why? I don't know. It just works for me, dude. And like, if I could also have maybe an Iron Man on the side I'm working on, maybe a hardcore, maybe an ultimate, maybe all at once, maybe, yeah, I'd have 8 accounts, maybe I'd have 10 accounts, you know, plenty of people have more than one account. And if that's not your play style and you think that's weird, that's okay. You know, a lot of people love player PKing. I don't like PKing. I'm like, who has like 5 different PK accounts? Someone's got 5 different 10, 20 different PK accounts. You know what I mean? They're doing it. I love these people dancing in front. Keep it up, y'all. Keep it up. Keep up the spirit. We're gonna do it. Whoop, whoop. That's all we're doing. And then make sure we click in the game so we don't log out. We're gonna fill our gym. There we go. Still reading the comments. A lot of comments. Appreciate it. La 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 la. Man, it's really coming in faster than I can read it. Let me see here. Relusion says anyone who is into PvP has at least 4, 3 accounts, something like that. Often more than that. Exactly what I just said, and you said it better than I could before I said it. Ronnie says the economy is going up, so yeah, they should take the prices up. Okay. I mean, I get it. But you could also be like, I often bring up, again, I'm going to say it again, the Arizona tea guy. Prices globally, prices have gone up, but the Arizona tea cans, still 99 cents. Still profitable. The CEO has everything he needs. He said he's famous for saying, like, I got a house, a car, a wife, a family, like my kids' college is paid for, everything's still good. The cans are still profitable at 99 cents. Why would I raise the prices? I don't need to. Jagex is raising the prices not because they need to, but because they greed. They have greed, man. What's up? Account Archer next to me is a sick account. What's up, Archer? We got Mrs. here as well. Mrs. is here. Archer's here. What's up, Archer? Shout out. We got Lesser Demo. We got no misclick here. What's up? What's up? Slow Burger. Shout out Slow Burger. All right, back to the comments here. Yeah. I don't know. I think like if it were a perfect world, bonds would be or membership would be $8 a month and it would stay there forever because I know it would be still profitable. Jagex is valued at like $1 billion. $1 billion company evaluation. Last leagues, they made over $20 million from players coming back and logging in. Dragon Wilds. Remember Dragon Wilds? Who remembers Dragon Wilds? They made over $6 million off of that pump and dump asset dump. Dragon Wilds was a fucking joke. They bought some pre-made Valorant type game that already was nearly complete for like $100,000, threw the wise old man and a whip in it and called it RuneScape theme. It had nothing to do with RuneScape. Nothing at all. And they made $6 million off of it. That's enough to pay every single Jagex employee, give them a fucking house, a car, the family, just like the Arizona tea guy. Even the executives would be rich. Just off of Dragon Wilds. But no, they need more money. They need to charge us $140 a year instead of $110 or whatever the current. They need to charge us $40 more a year. They need to charge us extra per month. Even though they can't give us that World of Warcraft type concession of having multiple characters per account, which was the biggest W that they left on the table from the last time that we were talking about this. It's just pathetic. It's just pathetic. They need to stop making excuses. They could make the game cheaper and still be profitable. And why not? Why not give us a deal? Why not say, hey, you know what? We're making so much fucking money with Jagex. Jagex is so profitable. Leagues last year was so amazing. Sailing, the big release of Sailing was so good. We're just going to give everybody a free bond. Everybody. And you can change it for money in game. You could turn it into a membership. Just cuz we can. This is never going to happen probably, but why not? It wouldn't cost Jagex literally a cent to just push the give everybody a bond button. It would get people who had never tried the game before into the game, and they might get hooked. And they might pay that $140 a year or whatever. Maybe. If they gave us the multiple characters per account, then we could finally feel a little bit more comfortable about paying that World of Warcraft price of 15 a month. But they won't do it. They haven't learned their lesson. They're not listening to us. So I'm not going to shut up. Because the only reason that we have old school RuneScape is because the players didn't shut up. We were so mad about the evolution of combat, about the removal of the wilderness, about the restriction of free trade down to like, remember when you could only trade like 40k worth of wealth maximum if you had all quest points? That shit sucked. And like, we were so mad. We were doing the riots. We were pissed. But they wouldn't change it. They wouldn't change it. They wouldn't change it. They kept, no, ELC's great, man. We're just going to keep doing it, man. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Everything's cool, dude. And people kept quitting and quitting and quitting and quitting and being mad and mad and mad until there was, I watched a documentary about it the other night. The guy kind of sucks ultimately, but the one player, he was, I fucking forget the name. But the guy, he kept emailing the CEO over and 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 over again until he finally had a conversation with him. And this conversation, he said, CEO, please, can we just do an old version of the game? Please. That's all we want. Just an old version of the game. Pre-EOC. Please. And they said, we can't do it. We don't have any backups like that. We can't do it. They said. And so he messaged them more. Please, figure it out. Please, you don't got no backups? We don't believe you. You got to have some kind of backup, bro. Some kind of backup. Please, do it. Something. And he said, no, we can't do it. We don't have that backup. But the guy persisted. He said, please, figure it out. We will all quit. We won't play your game anymore. We won't give you any more money if you can't figure this out. And somehow, they found that backup with the rune day on it, 1547, whatever, and they put it in the system, and the music came on, and it happened because of persistence, because we spoke out, because we wouldn't stop saying this is what we want, and we're not going to stop until we get it. We want multiple characters per account if you're going to charge us that bullshit World of Warcraft price. And honestly, you better not raise the price. But unfortunately, they're going to steamroll that price over us, and I just know it's going to happen. So we better get some concessions for it. I'm kind of embarrassed by all y'all just rolling over for this and saying, no, that's cool. Like, everything's fine. We don't need to worry. Why do we need free stuff? Like, why does it need to get better? Like, what? Like, you're just a fucking neckbeard bitching about the game all the time. Like, no, you are pathetic. All it takes for evil to succeed is good to do nothing. You are doing nothing. I got really on a tangent there, man. Shit. Somebody said it right here. I'm almost back to this part. Like an hour ago, Relusion said, the economy is in the shitter globally. Yes, and I think that it's just kind of like they're trying to eke out as much as they can. They think Jagus is doing the same thing. They think, oh, well, we can just charge everybody more. Illusion says the only reason sailing is good is because it doesn't feel like you're doing nothing. Yeah, kind of, but I mean, when I'm sitting out there just salvaging, I feel like I'm doing nothing. Ronnie Cosmo says they have to have better computers to keep the game going. Jagex's office has been like so decked out for years. Like, that's not an excuse. They don't need billions. They don't need millions and millions more to like make things better. Like, I'm always going to keep going back to the Arizona Tea argument. The game is profitable, just like Arizona Tea is still profitable. They don't need to charge more money. They just want to charge more money. And it's not the devs that want to charge more money. Almost certainly the devs would keep the price at $5 if they could. It's the executives that are like, well, I need another yacht. I need a second home down in Florida. I want to fucking travel to Dubai. I want to go to Riyadh Comedy Festival or whatever. You know, like, I need money. I need more money. $6 million from Dragon Wilds wasn't enough. $20 million from the last leagues wasn't enough. We need more money. More money. Well, what did we get? Less money. We get less money. Okay. I'm still trying to catch up. Don't blame them. Yeah, okay. Tradix Music says, personally, I understand the reason for the price increase. I think the real issue is the way it was communicated and how 12 months was increased the way it was. Yes, agreed. The way it was communicated was bad. The increase on the 12 months was bad. The fact that they removed the 6 month and 3 month options is bad. The it's This isn't pro gamer. This is literally, this isn't an update for us, folks. This update isn't for us. This update is for probably 10 people. 10 executives are going to get a bonus when the bonds go up. The devs aren't going to get a bonus. You think Mod Ash, you think Mod Pips, you think Mod Acorn or whoever's get a bonus? No. They might get a pizza party if they're lucky. It's all of us versus 10 executives. Are you on my side or are you on the executive side? You need to be on the comments right now and let them know you want a fair, equitable game. This is supposed to be an escape from reality, not another source of stress and drama. Wisdom says people that blame RS3 is crazy. Yeah, okay. They also pay for a game they don't play and have zero PvP. Is that kind of like in comment to how they removed a certain types of MTX in RS3 and now are blaming that black void of money for the increase in price? Is that what you're getting at? Um, but yeah, they also no PvP. They don't really play it a lot. Yeah, I kind of get it. They don't play it because they're AFK, is what he's trying to get at, probably. Wisdom says, I think he means why make deals when people are going to play regardless. Because what about that person that's on the bubble? That person that's thinking about playing, but could use that extra little bit of encouragement. That World of Warcraft player who's sick of World of Warcraft and sick of the bullshit over there, and has heard nice things about RuneScape, and has seen all those World of Warcraft players come to RuneScape videos, but it's like, I don't want to pay $15 for membership, and I don't want to play free. I don't want to play free to play. If they gave everybody a free bond, just imagine how many millions of players would tune up. And maybe it'd be a bunch of bots just siphoning the bonds and ruining the economy. Maybe that's why they don't do it. I get that. I'm trying to see the big picture too here. But what if they did? How many of those players that were on the bubble, that were on the fence, so to speak, about playing, might join in? Maybe millions. Millions of more players. This game could reach 500,000 concurrent players. Could reach 1 million concurrent players. It's possible. It's more than possible. Our numbers from leagues could be twice as big if they give some kind of generous bond deal. First month of leagues, you get a membership for $1. The release of leagues, everybody gets for $1 or something. They pay more. I understand. Maybe that's not the answer. Maybe I'm not an economist. I'm not an executive. I'm thinking like a player. I'm thinking like, what makes sense to me? Give us a good deal. I'll be enthusiastic to pay next time. Give us a bad deal. I'm gonna sit here and shit on you all day. It's that simple. I'm gonna keep coming back to Warframe. Warframe is a free-to-play game. They have a premium currency you can either earn in-game or purchase it with money, and it's a lot of a hassle to earn it in-game. And so me and my girlfriend, but we love this game so much because they do it so well. And they do so many good deals when they bring out the they have up to 200% extra platinum sometimes when you get a platinum deal. And me and my girlfriend, we love this game so much that we look at each other and we say, how much you want to spend on platinum? We say, as much as possible. As much as possible. I'd say I like Warframe about half as much as I like RuneScape. I love RuneScape. Let's how much I've been, willing to spend across these two different games. RuneScape pissed me off last year with the survey. You remember the survey? They asked us a bunch of questions that were totally tone deaf and wanted to charge us for things that we didn't want. On top of offering us, maybe we can give you the multiple characters per account, only if you pay for it though, and then never gave it to us for any price. They never learned their lesson. They were tone deaf. I quit because I was pissed. I used to pay for a year membership. I don't pay for that anymore. I don't pay for anything, and I'm very remiss even to get a bond with gold now because somebody did buy that, and I honestly am struggling to get gold in the game right now because I have to keep sailing to get my fucking 99. Anyways, look, I haven't paid Jagex. I'd happily pay Jagex if things were more equitable, and I'd like to like I haven't for a long time though. Warframe. Let's just be honest. Let's be real honest here. In the last year, Warframe, between me and my girlfriend, we've probably spent no less than $500 on platinum and cosmetics. Some cosmetics sometimes, but mostly just the platinum directly. $500. And I don't feel that bad about it because that game is in a golden era. That game is pro consumer, it's pro player. They're making all the right decisions. And I don't mind supporting the developers and that company because they're doing it so well that when I say I spent $500 on it, I don't feel that bad, even though that's a lot of money on a fucking video game. And I'm a poor person. I'm broke. I lost my job. But I don't feel bad about supporting that because it's so good and so well done and so much attention to detail. They're doing it right. They're doing it right. And so I don't feel bad about that. But look, I feel horrible about the $50 I spent on the Founders Pack for EA's Skate because they spit in our faces with every update in that game. I wanted to be excited for that. I had FOMO when that pack came around. I'm like, oh, I gotta get this pack. I got that fucking pack for $50. I regret it. But I don't regret spending $500, 10 times as much on a game that's legit, that I love, that is doing it right, that I feel has me as a player, my best interests. I don't feel bad about it. But RuneScape makes me feel bad, even though I love this game easily twice as much as Warframe. Easily. I feel 10 times worse putting any money into this because they're not giving us what we want, what we need. They're only looking out for the executives, for the boardroom, for their investors when they're making choices like this. They're couching it in language and executive speak when they're saying, oh, well, there's a membership change and we have to do it because of all this new content and all this new this and that. And it's because the economy's looking like this and we have to do. No. And there's still hundreds of people here in Falador making their voices heard. There's still dozens of people in chat making their voices heard. This is probably my most popular stream in years. Up to 20 people have been shown as viewers, dozens of chatters. People are mad about this. I'm going to try and catch up with the chat. The last one I hadn't read, Thought Farm, is probably just, it's probably just to make up for the removal of microtransactions in RS3. Not mad about it, to be honest. Okay. But what value do we get as old school RuneScapers for this increase? I understand that it's filling a void, but they're not giving old school anything really to look forward to. Okay, maybe I could say Leagues 6, Raids 4, but those were already in development. Those are already gonna happen. So I feel like, why should I pay extra for these things just because something else is failing? If just be like, why should, okay, how about this? Why should RS, like, it didn't end up happening, but what, like, theoretically, if Dragon Wilds had been a massive flop rather than a huge cash grab, which is what it was. They made $6 million profit off of that game for almost no investment. Um, if Dragon Wilds had failed, that's a RuneScape property, a Jagex property. Dragon Wilds had failed. Should RS3 and Osrs have paid more membership money? Should they have raised the prices in old school RuneScape and RS3 just because Dragon Wilds failed? Just because the microtransactions is shutting down in RS3, then should OSRS pay the price? That's literally what's happening. Relusion said, good luck, have fun. Okay, thanks. See ya, Relusion. Doofy says, you ain't quitting, bro. Raids 4 in the pipeline. Let's be real. You don't know me. This game saved me from being homeless, and I'd still quit it. This game brought me from loneliness, living in a van, streaming outside of Lowe's, to in a loving relationship, in a home. I got 2 beautiful little kitties that love hanging out with me and getting pets from me and stuff. My life has changed in so many wonderful ways because of RuneScape. And even then, I would drop it in a fucking instant because of this. I would do it. Even with all of that. I will quit. If they don't make some of these concessions, if they don't backtrack, if they don't give us something, at least, if they don't give us the multiple characters per account, I'll be gone. I already gave away half my wealth. I already quit for 8 months since the last time this happened, and barely play anymore, and haven't streamed that much, and haven't promoted the game since then. I quit my old school RuneScape Instagram. I had sponsors for this channel. I just let them drop. I didn't want to support this game anymore. I put a huge hiatus on, and this is one of the first times I've streamed since then, since I quit. I canceled my Instagram that was doing well. It was an OSRS Instagram. It was doing well. I canceled this channel for like 8 months. I haven't streamed or uploaded anything. I'm serious, and I'm only coming back to talk shit about this update. I will quit. I will not pay them any more money. I will not give them a bond. I don't give a fuck about League 6. I don't give a fuck about Raids 4. I love leagues. I love raids. But I'll leave it on the table. This is not the only thing in the world that I get joy from. This is not the end of the world that I have to quit it. And I want it to be very serious. I want people to know this is not one of those moments like the fucking mod thought back in EOC. The arrogance of the mods and some players thought, oh, they won't quit. They'll say they're gonna quit and they're gonna come back. They're gonna cancel the membership and then renew like a month later, a day later. No! I used to happily pay money for this game because it was easier than earning bonds in game, and then I could just go play the game and enjoy the game rather than having to grind 15 fucking million every 2 weeks. I happily paid money for this game. That relationship has ended. And I'm down to quit. I'm down to stop playing entirely. I got other games I play. I got other things I do, bro. I have other interests. This is not the only thing. I prefer this as my main game, and it's kind of it's woven into my personality, RuneScape at this point. But nothing is too precious for me to drop like a hot fucking potato. I will quit. Wisdom says bonds are the biggest MTX on both games. Yeah, but it's one of those. It's acceptable. We're okay with bonds. Ronnie says, yeah, I'm not trolling. I'm doing the same thing. You're speaking your mind. Right on, Ronnie. Keep it up, keep it up. Man, I'm really far behind. I'm trying to catch up, but I get so passionate at some of these comments. Let me bring the computer a little closer. Zoom in, enhance. All right. Yeah. Well, okay. Stratix says, I don't think it's simple as Jagex having greed. If they did, they wouldn't have removed the MTX that they did. Okay, good point. Good point. They made the concession and removed MTX. I believe there's another addendum to that, but hold on. Also, RAM storage is skyrocketing. Okay. Also true. Also worth considering. Hadn't thought about that. If you aren't a tech giant, then you have concerns. Okay. Yeah, RAM and hardware prices are increasing. Yes. MTX was removed. Yes. So maybe it's not all about greed, but I feel like it's replacing one thing with the other. I feel like it kind of is like they're having trouble getting the RAM, sure, but they're still a billion-dollar company. They can get the RAM somehow. They can figure it out. No more. I don't want to hear that excuse. The removal of MTX was a good concession, but I think they knew that they could do that only because RuneScape is so golden. Old school is so golden, and they knew that they had that cash cow still, and that they could eventually, even if it took a couple of months for them to pretend like it wasn't related, they could eventually bleed us for more money. And it's not like we're making more money. Um, I feel very strongly. It's a really delicate balance. How much can you charge the game? How much can you get away with? Versus how much is the average player willing to pay? I'd say $8. $8. You'd have such a flood of players like you've never seen before. I like to call it the Great Battle of Eight. $8 is the ideal world for a membership. Why not? Why not? The game would still be profitable, and I think the surge of players would make it even more profitable than trying to bleed out the remaining players for twice as much. It would still be profitable. The 99-cent Arizona can is still profitable. The owner has everything he could ever need. I think these executives are just too greedy. They need more. They need more. They need more and more and more and more and more. There's no amount that makes them happy. There is no they need a third, second, fifth, 10th, 20th house. They need more and more and more. And I kind of get it. As a RuneScaper, I sort of fucking get it. You want to know why? RuneScape wealth is never enough. As somebody who's a little bit now and then has been wealthy in RuneScape wealth is never enough. What I got? Almost a bill if I put all my armor in. Not even really. Almost 100 mil loot tab here. Almost 200 mil there. 300 mil here. And I feel like I'm broke, dude. I feel like I'm fucking broke. But I got 750s, 800 mil total. It's never enough. I got all this money, all this loot. Look at this. I got how much I got. How much I got in my loot tab right here. Look, I got over 1 mil in rune plate bodies. I got almost 1 mil in rune helms. I got all sorts of shit just sitting in here, man. Look at all my fucking herbs, man. 2 mil in Irit leaves, man. Almost 3. It's never enough, dude. It's never enough. I kind of get it. I kind of get it. Greed is infectious, dude. 5 mil in Renard, dude. Is never enough though. I get it. I kind of get it. But at some point you have to say, you know what? It's enough. This is enough. Unfortunately, the people with the power are like saying it's never enough. Right now, Trump is, I don't want to make it all political, but I'm going to just briefly say this. Trump is selling America for parts. He shut down agency after agency, all sorts of agencies, and then and took all of their incomes that they were getting, took all the money that was for the incomes of the people, took all the resources that was allocated to these, and just stole it all. Sold all the things for scraps. Is selling all of our. He sold our entertainment industry to Saudi Arabia. You know what I mean? And he's selling all of our resources to foreign countries and stuff. It's a joke. It's a joke. and it's never enough for those kind of people. And I feel like it's a microcosm. It shows kind of how like Jagex is operating. They kind of operate, I feel like, in the same way. They can never be enough. We gotta get 1 million subscribers, and they have to pay $15 a month. No matter, like, I don't know. What would you do? What would you do if you were a Jagex executive? Would you keep raising the prices? Would you keep it the same? Would you give them a good deal and try and get more people in, or would you raise the prices, try and squeeze out as much as you can? I don't know. I've been a poor person my whole life, so I advocate for the poverty. This is for all the poor kids in the world that want to play RuneScape for the first time. I was 10 years old once, and I wanted to play RuneScape and have membership, and I couldn't afford it. I had to ask my mom for help. You know what I mean? I think a lot of us did. We were all brokies once. We all wished we could be neckbeards complaining about the price, from a different perspective. We all wish we had enough money to complain. But no, we were little kids at one point wanting to play this game. And it was a little bit too much. We didn't have any money at that point. And if it were twice as much when we were kids, our mom might have said no instead of yes. Back when it was only $5 a month, it didn't seem like a big deal. But $15 a month? That's like, 150, $200 a year, son. I don't know about that. $5 a month, that's like not even $100 a year. Yeah, you can have that. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? I'm advocating for all the broke kids in the world, all the poor fucking Venezuelans that want to try out the game and maybe try and gold farm, and you know what I mean? This is for all the poor kids in the world. I've been broke a lot of my life. And I don't know what it would be like to be rich and think like them and think like, well, how do I get more money? Do I pump up the price or do I lower the price to try and make a sale to get more people in and then they spend more money after that? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. I ignored the comments for too long again. I'm sorry. Let me try and do a speed run. Okay. Read that one. Okay. Ronnie Cosmos says can't watch you anymore because you have no clue what you're talking about. All right. Have a good one. All right. Tradix Music says million isn't as much as you think. I worked at a medium-sized school district, and 1 million isn't enough to even run one department. Okay, I get it. A salary of a year is like 60,000. So 1 million may not cover, as many as, salaries as I think. But okay. But still. Um I just CZ says CJ ZL says I just bought 200 bonds to make up for all your membership cancellations. Yeah, whatever. Let's see. John Drennan says, "What world is this? 402. World 402. I'm sorry, I'm so late on that. I'm sorry, 302. My bad. 302. 302. 302. Thank you, Steak Eater, for shouting out that in the comments. Follow this. Yo! I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Okay, I'm gonna read this right now because I saw this. Cal says, read my previous comment for 279. Okay. Cal says, the way I see it, look at all the new content coming later this year. This helps pay for those updates and future updates. Okay. Okay. Sure. You know what? I see it. I see it. Um, the increase in prices, it feels like there's a dip in revenue right now for RuneScape. And it's because there hasn't been the leagues in over a year. And I don't know how, I think sailing was a hit, but then it kind of went down. Like people were excited, but then kind of like, tried it, logged out. I feel like it's probably like we're getting this bond increase because there's a dip right now. Leagues isn't happening yet. They're expecting a huge quarter because leagues and raids 4 are coming soon, but it's not happening yet. And like this quarter sucks for them, I think. And so like, okay, we got to do something. Pull the bond increase lever. And I feel like it's just really sad that has to be the one to pull when it's like I just is Jagex really struggling? Do they really need that much more money to put out the new content? I don't know. Maybe they do, but I feel like we're getting the short end of the stick here, and it's just we're it's I really feel like it's all couple 100,000, a million of us against like 10 executives. That's really how I feel. These executives are taking too much of a pay package or too much of a bonus, and they could be distributing a little bit more towards the bottom. I mean, this is kind of how everything works. Back in like way before we were born, the labor unions had a little bit better like grasp on things, and they were able to work out deals with companies to where the laborers ended up getting more of the share of the profits when a company did well, but didn't get punished if a company did bad. But when like literally like Ronald Reagan came around, squashed a lot of that, squashed a lot of the union, and squashed a lot of the labor stuff, and made it more profitable for the companies to come in. Like I'm not a history major, but this is really broad strokes here. But like it was essentially the Reagan era, which removed a lot of that and put it more in the money in the pockets of the executives, and they doubled down in a lot of ways over the last couple of presidencies. I'm really trying to catch up. Thank you so much to Kale B Post E Green 2080. Probably read that wrong, but thank you for your super chat. I really appreciate that. Really trying to catch up here, but I'm a slow reader and I got a lot to say. Riley says $11 a month for an annual game is nothing. 1 hour of working out of 80 hours of the year. Okay. When you put it in that perspective, you're right. When you put it in that perspective, I could see that argument. And I would rather spend the hour of work to pay for membership than as many as 5 or 10 or 20 sometimes hours if I'm unlucky in game trying to earn that much. Yeah, I kind of can agree with that's not that big of a deal, but I think it is. I think it is because they haven't listened, they haven't learned their lesson, they haven't given us the concessions. I'm going to say it again because we got a lot of viewers coming in and out. We still don't have what World of Warcraft has. They're trying to charge us $15 a month, which is the World of Warcraft price, which has been kind of that plateau that we haven't quite reached yet, that we've always kind of been avoiding. They want to charge us the World of Warcraft price, but not give us the World of Warcraft thing we've been asking for, which is the multiple characters for a single account. We can already do it because we have the Jagex launcher, which has all of your accounts that you have plugged into it already ready to go, but you have to pay membership for each one of those accounts. World of Warcraft has 65 characters that you can have on a single account. And yes, you have your different classes and everything like that, but you still have as many as like 5 different characters per class that you can have. So you can screw around in all sorts of different ways. But anybody that PKs with multiple accounts here in RuneScape, you got to pay for them all. Anybody like me, I have 4 accounts that I'd like to have active. I can't afford it with gold or money. I can't afford it. Maybe if I could do them all together, I could have some more fun and enjoy it. But I can't. I can't right now. But they want to charge us that World of Warcraft price without giving us the World of Warcraft thing we asked for last time. This was the concession that was left on the table last time. Remember the survey from over a year ago? The survey had in it some of those stipulations where like we could give you we could put multiple characters on a single account for just a little bit more if you want to pay a little bit more. But we're like, no, we want to pay the same and give us that thing because that's something all the other games do. Final Fantasy does it. World of Warcraft does it. Elder Scrolls Online does it. Why can't we have it? Why can't we have it? That's the big thing. Honestly, if they did that, I might shut the fuck up and just be happy with it. Give me all the accounts on one. I'll pay the $15 and shut the fuck up. Maybe. Still trying to catch up. Shit. Oscar says, straight up lies, bro. It's not nice that price goes up, but Jagex is doing a good job towards old school RuneScape and keeping the game alive. Sure, yeah, they're doing a pretty good game with old school. Pretty good job with old school. I just think that they're a little bit tone deaf sometimes. Oscar also says, plus you can make money in game easily. 45 million hour on Vorkath. True. 5 hours on Vorkath, you have 2 months of membership. Again, it's true. You could do this. Oscar also says, what other game gives you the chance of buying membership just by playing the game? Um, I give an example of it's not a direct membership per se because there's no membership required, but I often analogize or compare, I don't know if that's the right word, but I compare RuneScape with Warframe because they're both free to play games which have a type of currency which could be earned either in game or via purchasing with money. Warframe, you can grind out materials, weapons, armors in game and then sell it to other players for platinum. Platinum is not anything used for membership, but this is the premium currency used to get cosmetics and other upgrades in the game. Um, similarly, like I said, you can either buy them or earn them in game in both of these games, but I am far more willing to spend money on Warframe because of the vibe of the development team, because of the way the game is going, because the transparency of the devs, because I trust the development team in the way it's going. I feel like the money is being spent in the way it should, in areas that we want improvement in, and they're listening to us when we bring up concerns. When RuneScape wants to charge us more money, it seems like they don't always listen to us. One of the main concerns we had from the last negotiation, the big last issue, the survey and the other price hikes, we really want that multiple characters per single membership. That's a big deal. That's more or less why I'm here today, is to advocate for that, but also just to really see what the sentiment is from you guys and just kind of make sure that I didn't go down without a fight. Because the only reason we have old school again is because we fought for it. RuneScape was dying. The EOC had killed off like over, it was, they quoted 28 to 40% of the players quit when EOC came around. And only because one player kept sending multiple requests to have a conversation with the CEO to his email over and over and over until he finally responded. That's the reason we have old schools, because they were persistent, because they didn't give up, because they spoke up in a time of a struggle. And this is just, it's a simple thing, but we can get what we want. If they want to charge us more, we better get what we want out of it. They're gonna steamroll this price over us no matter what. So we better get the multiple characters. No fewer than 8 characters for a single membership is a demand. No fewer than 8 characters on a single membership. An ideal world, the game would be cheaper. I think it would bring more people in that were on the fence about paying for the game and playing it in general. I think a cheaper membership is always ideal. Everybody wants to pay less. And I think if they did that, more people would play. They might get more money, I think. But that's just me thinking, maybe like a brokey neckbeard, as some of you might say. And I think it could do. And we had other ideas. Free bond month, or free membership month, or just a free bond. Everybody gets a free bond. You log in, here's a bond. Okay, maybe the value of it crashes and it's not worth a whole lot, but why not? I don't know. Give us free money. Give us free membership. Make it a thing. It would cost Jagex literally nothing. Like log in and you have a bond this month. Just cause. Why not? It would cost them literally nothing and maybe get people into the game, get them hooked, and they'd feel like better. They'd feel like, oh wow, Jagex just gave me a free bond. Okay. Or like like a loyalty thing. Maybe it's not just free for everybody. Maybe it's a loyalty thing. Maybe it's like, have you played, have you paid for membership for like a year over the last 2 years or something? Or like, have you Have you been a member for over the have you accumulated like certain amount of membership over the last 5 years or something like that? Here's a loyalty bond because. Just because. Why not? It would get people to feel so good about the company. It would get them singing their praises. It would get people logging back in, being like, "Oh, did I get the bond? Or yeah, I did. Yeah, hell yeah, or whatever." Because I was loyal, and I did. I don't know. I'm just spitballing. I'm not. This isn't an executive room. People probably aren't listening to this that matter, but I'm just throwing some shit out there. Why not give us a cool deal? Get some people in the game, get them jazzed about you, give a good vibe, and then maybe people will spend more money. It's the reason people do sales in companies all the time is to get people in the door. They might spend more. In the door, might spend more. Come on, think of it like that. Trying to catch up. Still, I'm really bad about this. I caught up to Oscar. Riley says, it's a public company. I don't understand why you think they're doing this for you, Lamau. And yes, they should. I think the second comment is kind of got lost, but yes. I mean, yeah, maybe they're not doing it for me, but I mean, in an ideal world, this is just what I prefer. We read the Cal comment for the super chat. Again, thank you to Kale for the Caleb, of course. I'm sorry, Caleb. I'm sorry, Caleb. Thank you, Caleb, for your 270 super chat and your comment. Oscar says you did not quit. You're back. I did quit for about 8 months, and that's 8 months that I didn't pay. I came back because I felt like the game was in a better state. I felt like Jagex had learned their lesson after the survey, and I felt like, okay, maybe this is a time to come back. But I made I quit for a pretty good little chunk there. This game was my income stream. As you can see, this channel is monetized. We're getting super chats. We have memberships. People in the chat are members. Shout out to Steak Eater, aka Slowburger, in game. Homie's a member in chat. You know what I mean? This. I was getting money here, and I decided this game was not where it's at anymore. And so I quit for about 8 months until if they finally want me back, I said, okay, I'm gonna not pay for a membership, but I'm gonna get an in-game bond. I'm gonna get an in-game bond because I didn't want to directly pay the money, but I know that somebody still bought that bond, so somebody's paying that money. There's a middleman, but I didn't want to pay the direct money. I haven't paid money for this game since I came back, and I'm really tentatively back. Like I'm only streaming this because I like this was one of the few times I've streamed, maybe 4 or 5 streams in the last 2 months. One of was like sailing. I sailed. I did the birthday event. I really rarely stream. I used to be so jazzed about this game, singing its praises every day, streaming it every day. That relationship has really changed because of these decisions. And we're caught up to Riley, caught up to Caleb, Oscar. It's not an airport, buddy. No need to announce. Okay, whatever. NACL. That's what is that? NaCl. What kind of compound is that? Is that is that salt? I don't know. Uh, it would be far less obvious that it's greedy if it didn't happen right before leagues. That's it. That's the most poignant comment right there. When they get a massive uptick already and people willing to pay and fork over more cash for it. Yeah, it really sucks that they're doing this before leagues because they know they're already going to make more money for leagues. They know last leagues I calculated they made $20 million just for the 2 months of leagues on top of their regular revenue, and they made over $6 million for Dragon Wilds. Uh, they're not a struggling company. And so for them to raise the prices right before they were already going to get more money, it feels very, very suspicious. When they could do like a deal to bring even more people in, which I think would make people feel better about it. and be more willing to spend money and more willing to come back. This is just like, I don't know how to describe it other than just kind of like thinking like a customer versus thinking like a an executive. The executive is always thinking we got to raise the prices. Things are costing more. The tariffs, the COVID, the president, the war, everything's costing more. We got to charge more. We got to charge more. But the consumer's like, well, what if you charged a little bit less? We might feel better about it. What if you treated us a little bit nicer? We might say nicer things instead of you just saying we're just going to raise the prices. Because we got only mean things to say about that. Trying to catch up, trying to catch up. Man, you guys are really blowing through the comments. Thank you so much for engaging, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Trying to catch up. Riley says the increased cost of running the game is an excuse and not important. Every company works the same way. Costs go up, so does the cost for a product. This is not rocket science. And Caleb says, you are broke being a member. I mean, I end up broke because I ain't got no money to pay for membership. I ain't got no money in my bank, one way or the other. Uh, NACL says, I doubt the people developing the game are getting a pay increase proportional to this increase in membership price. That's what I'm saying. I don't think any of the devs are going to get a big bonus or anything like that. Do you think they're getting a $40 bonus in their paycheck because we're paying $40 more? No. We might get a pizza party. Caleb says this guy even read the YouTube chat. I'm trying my best to catch up. I'm sorry, I have a lot to say and I'm really far behind. Again, I appreciate your super chat. Let's see. The bucket list says, if I were Jagex, I'd permaban every account on 302 right now just for laughs. It was funny if you've seen the Jimmy video where he does a hardcore Iron Man with a World of Warcraft player for the first time. Like on episode 2, there's this guy making a fuss in the cow pen and like says he reported the or some shit. Like he was just causing some drama in the cow pen. And then all of a sudden one of the player mods that was watching the stream comes in as a monkey on top of a cow and comes and like pretends to like arrest the troublemaker. It was pretty funny actually. Um and you guys should check that out. Jimmy also had a couple of videos about the bond increase, which kind of inspired me to get on the soapbox, so to speak, and say what I had to say. And I appreciate all y'all kind of chiming in, good or bad. I don't have the full picture. I'm not the wisest person ever. So I appreciate y'all's input. Let's see. We're trying to catch up. And you know what? Y'all gotta give me a minute. Y'all gotta just give me a minute. Hold up. All right, we're back. We're back, y'all. Keeping it real. I ain't even that butthurt or nothing. It don't even matter that much to me. But just try and keep it respectful in the chat. I'm not being rude to you guys. It may seem like I'm yelling at you, but I'm not like mad at you guys. I'm just trying to express my frustrations at particularly the executives and a couple of issues that Jagex, I feel like they haven't learned their lesson over the years. I'm trying to be very respectful with you guys, trying to treat the chat with respect. Y'all don't need to call me a neckbeard or whatever. Y'all don't need to take it out on me, and I don't really care that much. I'm not that butthurt or anything like that. I just want to be just, try to be respectful. We're all in this together. We all want the best game, the best situation for everybody. Okay? It's not a big. I can take the comments. You can call me whatever you want. Honestly, I'm just being like, we're all friends here. We all play the same game. We're all neighbors. We're all Gillinorian. We're trying to get through the chat still. I am so slow at this, man. I'm sorry. Even with my new glasses. Check it out. I got some new glasses today, actually. Can you get a thumbs up about those? Cool glasses? I don't know. But even with my new glasses, I'm still super blind, and I'm trying to catch up with this chat. I swear, man, it's not that I'm being rude. Let's see here. Maybe if I make the chat bigger. Is there a way to do that? Nope. Okay. Riley says, as someone who owns real estate, I increase rent every year. Prices do not stay the same year to year. Taxes increase, inflation goes up, insurance goes up, etc., etc., etc. Sure, sure. I mean, I get it. I understand things go up. It's got to go up. It's a hard kind of rule of the way we live right now, unfortunately. Um, I always wonder why couldn't it be different? Why couldn't there be deflation? I understand maybe certain resources are hard to get a hold of. Um, I feel like maybe I'm just ignorant. Maybe I'm just talking out of my ass here, but why can't things be different? I think it's only due to short-sightedness, due to top-down greed that we don't have better things in general. This is coming into an existential big picture kind of thing at this point. But it's like we have enough food for everybody. A lot of food goes to waste. We have enough land to give everybody land, and we have enough homes to house everybody. You know, like we only work so hard and pay so much for everything because those at the top aren't being fair with us. We work really, really, really hard to have our meager existence while they just kind of yak it up in the boardrooms and take the profits from us. And this is a top-down problem. This is what Bernie Sanders was talking about 10 years ago when he tried to become president and got looked over because he was too old or too socialist or something. We could have had a better world, but we got Trump, the businessman who ran the company, the United States like a business and sold off all the assets and ruined all and the real estate and changed all the names of everything to Trump this and that. And I don't want to get all political really, but look, it's just like we could have a better world. Everything could be more fair. If those at the top paid their taxes more fairly toward the bottom, everybody could have a little bit more of a fair share, more food on the table, work less hours to pay rent. You know what I mean? Everything could be fair. We could have universal health care like most other countries. Like the UK, people, this game is a British game, dude. People in Britain are looking at us like, y'all don't have free healthcare? Y'all gotta have paid $3,000 for an ambulance ride? It's not free? What? They're laughing at us, dude. They've got free healthcare. We play the same game, but we don't live in the same health standards, man. I mean, it could always be worse. Some people like live in Venezuela and probably don't got no healthcare or whatever, don't got no options, or even good healthcare system or whatever. I don't even know, but like it could always be worse, but it'll always be better. It could always be better. Why couldn't we have deflation? Why couldn't we pay less taxes and prices go down? I don't know. It could happen. It could happen. I know everybody wants more fair share. I don't know. Ah, maybe I'm just dreaming, but I'm not the only one. Let's see. Riley says 15 a month, 1 hour working for real. You pay 15 for a Big Mac. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to argue with that, honestly. Caleb says anyone who complains about membership prices going up should just quit. Games are not cheap to run. Yeah, but this game used to be the affordable option. That's why it became so popular, is because it was free to play and cheap to be a member for a lot of content. That was the appeal for a lot of people. And it's like taking that formula and just flipping it on its ass. They say, no, we're just gonna charge you more now. We're just gonna charge you more. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you think, what you have to say. We're just gonna charge you more. It doesn't have to be like, I understand games aren't cheap to make, but I just feel like there could be a better energy to it. Like I say, I spent $500 on microtransactions in Warframe happily because I support that game and the development team. I like the style of the game. I like how it plays. I like the direction it's going. I like the updates to come. And so I don't mind that I've spent $500 on that. But in the game that I prefer, that I love, I refuse to spend $1 because they're shitting on us. They think that they can just hike this price up and up and up and up and up and up every couple of months, higher and higher and higher and higher, but still not give us what we want. And what do we want? Multiple characters per single account. That's the demand. That's the demand. Let's see. ACL says you're part of the problem, Riley, Mr. Riley. Okay. Thank you for standing up for me here a little bit. NACL. Riley says you want a market where everything is dirt cheap and it's not viable. I just, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like thoughts like that are like red pill. Like, oh no, you want everything cheap. You can't have it cheap. You can't, like, you want a game cheaply, you want like food for cheap. You can't have it. It's just not the way it works. And it's just like, why not? Why not? Why can't it be like that? What my even a better question than why not? This is the magical question. Anybody listening right now, I want you to like pay attention for a moment and hear this little thing in my hand. Imagine I have what you want, everything you want, anything you want. A cheaper membership for RuneScape? It's right here in your hand, man. My hand. But or you want a relationship with a girl or a guy, you want a stable house, a job, you want the riches beyond belief, you want to be famous. It's right here in my hand. Right here. Imagine it. But you can't physically grab it from me. That's the only thing. You can't physically move it. What do you do? Someone proposed this to me, okay? And I tried, I flopped around for a couple of minutes to say, can I have it? No. Why not? Because I want it. Okay, can I give you some money for it? No. Okay, what does it cost? No, it doesn't have a price. The secret was, what would it take? These are 4 magic words you can use in any avenue of life to help you get what you want. A more equitable world? What would it take? Free healthcare in the most, like, one of the most highest GDP countries in the world? What would it take? Food on every table, in every kid's belly? What would it take? A cheaper membership? What would it take? Multiple characters on a single account? What would it take? A year of development? 2 years? $5 extra price? What would it take? Do it. We asked Jagex to do the multiple characters per single account thing last time. That was the biggest wedge issue that they just left on the table from last time and they didn't learn their lesson. What would it take? We can have better things. Lockout says, brother, you pay IRL cash for membership with full fortified Missouri? Oh, I earned this Missouri. Other than I paid for membership one time in like 2023 or 24 with cash. Other than that, everything on my account is earned in game. Um, let me see here. 7 hours, making 2 mil an hour, and you're set for 14 days. Again, that's a pretty common comment. You could just play a little bit of the game and earn it, but that's a common comment. But maybe I do want to just pay the money to not have to grind for hours and then go do something I prefer instead. Um, I prefer to pay money to Jagex for membership, and I wish I could do it happily, like I did for Warframe. I've given over $500 in the last year to Warframe for platinum, happily, because I like the way that game's going. But RuneScape has soured the relationship. This is my favorite game, and it soured my relationship with like wanting to support them. Logbro says, "Do you think Jagex will respond or just let it blow over? Only if we don't shut up. Like if we just take it, if we let them steamroll us, they're just gonna charge us. But if we riot, if we make videos, if we say everything on Reddit, if we make a fuss on our channels, we can make a difference. Like I said, the only reason we have old school RuneScape is because some players were persistent about getting a old school version of the game when EOC failed. Let me see. Lockout says 3 hours at 5 mil an hour, or half an hour and a half at 10 mil an hour. Yeah. Bucket list says not at all. I'm not sure what that refers to. Lurk chard, 30% more for a bond. Excuse me, 30% more for a year is bad. Good luck, dude. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not stoked about the increase at all. That's way too much. It's too much, man. Bojack Horseman, love the girl. The bucket list says we are getting the increase because microtransactions and RS3 stopped. Yeah, we've been talking about this. The money has to come from somewhere. Yeah, and again, yeah, the hole that microtransactions left. You know what? Maybe we fire like half of the executives that are pissing off the community at every turn. Maybe we fire them instead of raising the prices. If they're making multiple bad decisions and sucking a lot of money from the top, maybe we fire the executives. What would it take? What would it take? The game is obviously profitable, obviously popular, but they can't learn their lesson. They can't learn their lesson. The executives cannot learn their lesson. A game with a good player company relationship doesn't have riots every time they announce an update like this. You don't see riots in Warframe. You see only like tons of love flooding from every channel to Warframe right now. Rarely a bad word. I mean, there are detractors, there are critics, 100%. But like the love, the vibe is so much better in Warframe right now than in RuneScape. They're both free to play games with the earnable in-game currency, premium currency. They could learn from each other. Looking, trying to keep up, trying to keep up, trying to keep up. Akro says, I feel like they increased the bonds. People wouldn't. I feel like if they just increased bonds, people wouldn't have been so mad. Yeah, maybe, maybe. But then how much would a bond in game cost? 20 mil? 30 mil? Uh, Caleb says, so people should keep their membership without upgrading. There is a feature called grandfathering, right? Grandfather rates. About the grandfather rates, they want you to quit. If you quit at this point, you're kind of playing into their hand, because if you quit and whoa, what the hell is going on here? Hold on, hold on, hold on. Look in the game. Look in game. Everybody shut up. What the higgity hell in hip hop? I never. I never seen a glitched out motherfucker like that. That is something else. What the heck? I see the outfit too. I could copy that outfit mostly. What the fuck? All right. Let's just have a moment and enjoy this. No more drama. Let's just enjoy the crazy, really, really, really glitched out D-Law. That is some wild shit, man. Whoa. Most glitched award goes to D-Law. I don't even know. Pyro top. I don't know where their head is. I don't see their head. I don't know what is going on with this person. Alright, well, we're just gonna hang out here for a minute while I talk my shit. Um, I'll never catch up with the chat, will I? Caleb, yeah, the grandfathering in. They want you to quit because if you quit right now because you're pissed about the price, then you're not going to be able to get the grandfather rate when you come back around, unfortunately. So they want to piss people off to charge them more when they come back, I think. I think it's weirdly it's like a toxic side effect byproduct of it is they want you to quit. Let's see. Caleb also says 139 a year is change compared to my cell bill or car payment every month. Get off the train and enjoy what they are doing. You know, sometimes there's nuance that deserves standing up for, you know. I again am gonna say my big wedge issue here is they want to charge us the World of Warcraft price, but not give us the World of Warcraft thing that we want, which is multiple characters per account. World of Warcraft has 65 fucking characters per paid membership for $15 a month. We get one. I have like at least 4 accounts that I'd like to have active with more that I'd like to make. I'd like to have all my 4 accounts running and maybe make an Iron Man or 2 or 3. Maybe make a group Iron Man. Maybe try PKing with the pure account of some sort. I don't know. Why not? If I had like 10 character slots, I'd be filling them up with all sorts of different characters, meme characters, specialized 99s only, certain region locked characters, PK, PVM. You know, I could do anything I want. But they didn't learn their lesson because that was in the surveys from before. Because they offered us the possibility of getting multiple character slots if we just paid a little bit more. But they didn't ever give it to us. I'm pissed about that. I'm not gonna let up on that. That's my main take. That should be your takeaway from this. Is World of Warcraft pays the same amount, but they get so many more characters, and we have to pay for every single character we want to have members. I'm never gonna catch up. Snack Food says, if I pay a little more a month for the game I have played all my life to hopefully make it survive till my kids can play Osrs, that's fine with me, honestly. Not a bad sentiment. Not a bad sentiment, honestly. I can agree with that. It's tough to have the game you love go through struggles. Like if it's really struggling, if this is the only lever, if this is the what would it take option for Jagex, I would understand it. But I don't think this is the what would it take option. And they're not being fair with us. Logbro says 100 characters if you count classic on World of Warcraft. There you go. They should have no limit. They should allow us to merge all of our characters. Anybody that wants to play should be able to merge all your characters into one one thing: unlimited. You just sold me on no. I was advocating for 8 or 10. You just sold me on unlimited. We should have no fewer than infinite. We should be able to ruin as many hardcore characters as we fucking want. Caleb says they lose money that way, a lot of money. World of Warcraft also loses money that way, and they know it. Okay, but you know what? They make players happier. Sometimes that's a metric that should be way more taken into effect. Money is always the number one concern, but a concern that too few game companies take into effect is player happiness. The player's feelings toward the company in general, the feeling about the game. Again, I happily have spent almost $500 between me and my girlfriend on Warframe because we like that game and we love what it's doing. We support the dev team and the company and the direction and the transparency of the game and how it feels and looks. We love it in a way that when the deals, and here's another thing, RuneScape doesn't do deals. Warframe does deals. Every couple weeks, we'll get an offer to buy platinum with 20% more platinum, or 50% off the price, or sometimes as high as 150 or 200% bonus platinum. 2 times extra on top of the normal you get. So you're getting 3 for the price of 1 platinum, which is, again, Warframe and RuneScape both have these currencies, these premium currencies that you can pay for in either in-game money or real world money. Hey, what's up? What's up, Zen Carter? Yeah. And anyway, again, it's just general. Like, how do we feel about this game? I don't feel good about this game. Takir, how's it going, boss? Long time no see. Okay, trying to catch up again. Never gonna do it. Let's see here. Snack Food says. Snack Food says, and RS3 has got rid of MTX, a big thing people wanted to get rid of. Yep. Jagex still needs to bring in the money from their business. It needed to come from somewhere. You know, how much money does a business have to make? I always wonder about that. I mean, I get it. The servers cost money, overhead, you know, got to pay the people that work there. But how much money does a company have to make? I always wonder that. I'm always asking kind of stupid, like, like dummy questions like that, just to why can't it be different? Why can't it be different? Yeah, they do need to make if that is like they have to make 20 million a year to operate at all. Okay, yeah, maybe that microtransaction money had to come from somewhere, so they have to charge us more. But does it have to be like that? Could they run off of 10, 15 million a year or whatever? I don't know the number, but whatever. Why not? I don't know. I'm just asking stupid questions like this just to try and be philosophical. I'm a what do they call it? A couch philosopher. There's a word for it. Armchair philosopher. Caleb says also stop comparing WoW to RuneScape. You sound pathetic. Okay, whatever. The only reason I compare them is because that has been there's always been the competition between the two, and the prices have been different, but they're getting closer to each other. The price comparison is the main thing I'm comparing. And the only thing is that character difference is the only thing I really even mention other than that. I don't know why that's pathetic. And I think you're kind of becoming a little bit sad in your comments. The bucket list says this happens every time they increase prices. Lol, nobody ever quits. I did. I quit for about. I quit my paid membership. I stopped playing and streaming, and making YouTube videos for about a year and only come back very, very seldomly and very timidly. It's not just about quitting or not, because some people do come back. Some people do either tentatively come back or in certain ways. The point is it's really how the company treats us, how we feel about the company, and this relationship has just been soured over and over and over. Some people are still staying around even though they hate the game because they hate the company because they love the game that much. This game is so deeply tied to our nostalgia, to our childhoods, to our memories. We have earned and lost friends in this game and made and forged battles and fought, and the things that we have done, the memories we have created are endless, endless. The this game has become just a centerpiece of culture for its like the way it creates the meme culture around it, the community of videos ever since the early days of PKing with the just music videos, PKing videos, the how-tos for the quest videos, just everything is beautiful about this game. But the relationship between the characters and Jagex is ugly. It's ugly. And they don't listen to us. And so it's not just about whether or not we quit, it's really about how they treat us, because some of us are stuck here. This is our game. This is our identity. Some of us are lucky enough to quit. Some of us are able to get out and find other things to do. And I want to try and read my friend's comment here. It says, "Yeah, I saw your stream and title on YouTube. I'm watching that. I'm already paying 20 bucks for membership." I'm sorry, Zen. I'm sorry I missed your comment first off, but I'm sorry you pay that much. That's whack. We shouldn't have to pay this much. I'm really trying to catch it and keep everything in on the plate, but man, it's just a lot. Someone says, Log Bro says, Caleb, you take your shit. Thank you, Log Bro. Log Bro says, it's they don't offer 15 a month of product, but they're comparing it to other games. There you go. That's you condensed my thought on it on the comparison. Thank you. In their dev blog, yeah. The bucket list says, would you still want that if it locks you into only playing one of those characters at a time? Oh, good question. Ooh, that's like a weird middle ground I hadn't considered. If they gave us the multiple character slots but prevented multi-logging. Good question, bucket list. No. No. It would feel the same. It would feel essentially the same. It's like okay, you can only do one at a time if you're paying. That feels like it's really not doing much for me. I'm just swapping the character I can play at a single time. I don't like that. No, I want to be able to multi-log. I would vote no for that. I would quit for that. Yeah, I would stay quit for that. Log Bro says yes. What the fuck? I don't know. I wouldn't do that. Yeah, I don't know. Zen Carter hanging out in game and in chat. Thank you. Says, hey all, that's insane. I'm already paying 20 bucks a month because of taxes here and Canadian government charges. Excuse me. Because of the taxes here that the Canadian government charges Jagex. Oh my gosh. So pre-hike, before this new up increase, you're already paying 20 in Canadian. Damn, bro. Yeah, it's time to let them know we're serious, guys. I don't think this isn't the way, man. Steak Eater, thank you for being a member. Damn, Mithril level member? Dude's been a member for a year, y'all. Why does Canada charge tariffs on OSRS? Good question. I think it also might be somewhat based on the exchange rate is a little higher, but that's not why the tariffs or taxes are higher. That's why the price is higher, but I can't explain the tariffs or taxes. Bucklist says, saying giving a free bond costs Jagex nothing proves you know absolutely nothing. Okay. I mean, I'm struggling to see how it would cost them. Maybe I am just that dumb. I feel like a free bond to people, a free month of membership maybe instead, because a bond is something that's exchangeable for money and could crash the economy. But a month of membership, perhaps, I don't see how that would hurt. I don't see how it would hurt. You'd get a bunch of people to try the game, try out the content that they probably would have never tried out because a lot of people would never want to pay for membership, would never try the members content, but the fact that they have the chance might get them to become a member for the first time ever. It might get them off the fence, so to speak. And so I struggle to see how that would hurt or cost them based on the return on the investment. Um, but I'm not an executive. I was a hobo before where I live right now. I lived in a fucking car. You could say I'm a tin hat. I don't know. I don't have the best takes always. Zen Carter, I'm here to ask questions and just say the one or two things I know for sure, which I really want that multiple characters for a single account that's paid. That's really the main thing that I'm not gonna waver on. I'm not gonna stop saying. Zen Carter says Steak Eater. Zen Carter says at Steak Eater says no, we just have crazy taxes here. Also, I'm paying through Google Play, so that's probably 30% of it too. Oh shit! So you're paying because of the mobile, the way you bought it or whatever. Also, are paying a little more. That's crazy. That's crazy. To Google, damn. Horrible Liar says shouldn't have to pay for membership on characters on the same account. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Also, again, the Jagex launcher has been a thing for like what 2, 3, 4 years now, and we've been able to have all of our characters on one launcher now for a long, long, long time. Why haven't they given us multiple characters on a single paid account? It's almost like they're spitting in our face. It's like we have the infrastructure to do it. We just know that we can charge you twice, even though a lot of people would just say nah and just not do the multiple characters. Only the real like people that are, the whales maybe, or those with, like streaming money or something like that, are willing to pay for two or more accounts. Not that many people are willing to do that. Although a lot of people have more than one account. Riley says, lol, a free bond, devalue the in-game currency, great idea. We can just print more money, right? Okay, yeah, I can give the concession. Maybe the free bond idea is not a great idea. But I'm just spitballing here. I just think maybe why not give the players something? Why not give them a discount on a bond, a free month, a something? I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, but Warframe does discounts and events like that where it's just like, here's twice as much of the premium currency if you buy it, just for this week or whatever. Like, why not? And that gets me and my girlfriend excited to buy it, and we spend a lot more money on that. And there's not as the economy isn't as tied to the purchase of the premium currency as RuneScape is, so it's not a direct comparison in any way, but it's just a little bit of an analogy, just something to think about, just something like I'm excited to spend money in Warframe. I refuse to spend money in my favorite game, RuneScape. Why? There's a reason for that. What would it take? What would it take to get people to be excited to spend money on this? What could Jagex do to get us excited to pay $150 a month or whatever, 140 and $15 excuse me, $15 a month, 140 a year, whatever it works out to be. What would it take for Jagex to get us excited about that? We're almost caught up. We're almost caught up. Zen Carter says I probably have to switch to paying direct through to the site. Yeah, you should probably do that before you start losing more money. Good idea. The Horrible Liar says they can make those bonds untradable. True. Logbro says creator code ideas for membership has been thrown around a lot. Good idea. Yes. There's something. Almost not against it at this point with all the price hikes over the years, and and I always bounce games, but I've been playing RS since 2005. Yeah. Um, Creator codes. That's another one. That might be one of the answers. Uh, hey, you watch Takiru Scape. You get 25% off on your bond if you use my code Takiru Scape OSRS at checkout for a bond or whatever. You know what I mean? That'd be dope. That'd be wonderful. That'd be really cool. I'd get a little kickback. The free promotion of RuneScape through the streamers is something that they have kind of always overlooked and undervalued. And doing that partnership to give us a little bit of kickback for every bond bought would be huge. Even if it was only a couple of percents, that'd be really dope. That's a good idea. And I'm down with that because I'm also a small but growing creator, and that'd be awesome. Let me see here. Snack Food says, I want Coca-Cola to give me a free 24 pack because it'll promote people drinking Coca-Cola. Okay. Longbro says salt, NaCl. I was right. It's salt. That was so long ago that I asked that. Man, I'm really behind on chat. Snack Food says, either we get a game with microtransaction or higher membership prices. You have to pick one or the other. Again, maybe it isn't even so much about the price. It's the fact that they're not listening to us. It's the fact that we asked last time that there was a huge scuffle about pricing and stuff. The survey, remember the survey? The scuffle was, you're going to give us those character slots, right? Like World of Warcraft has, like Final Fantasy 7 has, right? Like, Final Fantasy, whatever, Final Fantasy Online, whatever. Like World of Warcraft does, like Elder Scrolls Online has multiple characters. All these games have multiple character slots for their paid membership of $15. We don't. Why? That's one of the big things. That was the big thing. That it's not even so much the price, because I get it, inflation. The price may not even be a big issue if they would let us have the multiple accounts, if they would listen a little bit better, if they would really really crack down on bots, if they would really crack down on the GE spamming. You know what I mean? Like some of these just really simple concerns that we have, that seem really honestly like they would cost very 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 little money, and then make us happier to spend money. Because again, I'm not against spending money in games. Again, I'm a fucking Warframe whale practically. But my favorite game I refuse to spend money in right now because the vibe is all off. It's all off. And say I won't quit, I will, and I have, and I will again. I only came back very tentatively, almost only talking shit about things like this, you know? I want to say nice things about the game. I want to spend money on it. I want it to be doing well. I want to support it, but it's not working right now. Man, I feel like I'm a broken record today. Logbro says, look at Arizona TCO, make a good product, and lots of people figure out. Yes. Logbro says, look at Arizona TCEO. Make a good product, and people will buy it. Figure out the rest. That's what I'm saying, man. I swear, if they drop the price of RuneScape membership to $1 a month, it'd be profitable. Because who wouldn't want to play like one of the best games ever, all the stuff for $1 a month? I bet they would make so much money, it'd be coming out their ears. Maybe the server size increase would probably be the one bottleneck, because they'd have to make so many more servers that would cost a lot to make the servers to hold all the people. But other than that, I mean, that's a silly hypothetical sort of, but it could cost half as much probably and still be profitable if all the profit was going in the right direction. I feel like, unfortunately, to keep this game running so long, I mean, we rose from the ashes of RS3. Let's be honest. We survived off of the microtransactions of RS3 for a long time. Let's be honest. And our prices were only kept low because of those types of things. The microtransactions in RS3 are ending, and we have to reckon with that. as a kind of a video game universe, as Gillenorians, we have to understand that our other world is sort of becoming less profitable, and so our current world needs to make more money somehow. I feel like they could pull different levers. I feel like they could pull different levers, and one of them is give us the multiple character slots. I think that's the major demand. I wouldn't even mind paying the slightly more money if they could give us that concession. It's the hugest W that they forgot about and just left on the table from the last negotiation. Good point, Log Bro. Look at Arizona team, man. Snack Food says, just a state of gaming. Yeah, it might be. It's tough to make a dollar in a world with Fortnite in it, you know. Gaming Life says, the love of money is the root of all evil. Yeah, I'd say so. I'd say so. Greed, greed, money. Yeah, I'd say organized religion is the root of all evil, but that's a whole other thing. They're adjacent. They're really battling for second and first spot. You know what I mean? That's a whole other thing. Um, Snack Food says hard work to achieve what you want. You know, again, like, yeah, I'm down with working hard. I'm not just, I don't mind spending a little bit of money for something I like, but again, the relationship has been really strained between Jagex and its players, and they just can't seem to get it right. Let me see here. Murilo, Murilo, Murilo Stukest 2 says writing for being poor, lol. Yeah, okay. Yeah, now I'm glad I didn't get your name right. Okay. Badman Josh says, what world? I'm coming. Boom. 302. Come on down. Sorry if that was too late. Logbro says they should just make it so you can fund your solo account with bonds, or you can pay for membership for, say, 3 accounts if you log in. Okay, hold on. Let me read this because I want to get this done. They should make it so you can fund your solo account with bonds, or you can pay membership for, say, 3 accounts you can log into at once on your Jagex account. I'm struggling to conceptualize this, but it sounds like a good idea. Being able to fund multiple accounts from one kind of thing. I think I see where you're going. It got a little lost in the detail there. Garib says, what was the membership increase to? Something like roughly $12 to $15 monthly increase, from $12 to 15, so about $3 a month. It's not, I mean, it seems insignificant, but it's just like they keep doing it. And then the yearly was about $40 increase for a year. And again, it doesn't seem like that much, but it's like they won't listen. They haven't learned their lesson to listen to us, to give us the multiple character slots, and I'm not going to shut up about that. Let me see, $15 per monthly. Yeah, Logbro answer. Thank you for keeping up with the chat. Logbro says, I'm even fine paying the membership hike monthly for, say, 2 alts. I can play on with membership. Yeah. Yeah. So you get 3 accounts on one membership. Yeah. I don't want to I want to dream big here. I want to dream big. Because when we dream small, we get clue boxes that only allow us 5 instead of unlimited. You know what I mean? We dreamed small with clue boxes. We kept asking for it. We didn't shut up about clue boxes. Remember? Give us stackable clues. Give us stackable clues. We've had the infrastructure since League One. Stackable clues has been around. It seems like a no-brainer. It failed by like 1% in 2 different polls or something like that. Just give us stackable clue boxes. We wouldn't shut up about it, and so they kept doing like little halfway edits, and They edited the code to, oh, okay, now the clues like are on the ground for like 2 hours, so like you can juggle them. Okay, now they're like, oh, you can juggle them, and like they also like they did something else too, like oh, you can hop worlds now, and they're still there. Oh, whoopity fucking do. Oh, and now like oh, we're gonna do it to like where you can kind of have extra. No, 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 no. Like we kept saying, no, 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 just give us stackable fucking clues already. Stop giving all these half-ass measures. Give us stackable goddamn fucking clues, Jagex. What would it take? You already have the infrastructure, and they said, okay, 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 fine, 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 fine. We'll give you stackable clues, but only a maximum of 5 per tier, and we're not going any higher. We're not going any higher. That's a hard limit. You can't have any more. This is what happens when we dream small. When we say, oh, let's just have 3 accounts, on one. This is that happens, and then they charge us 15. They charge us $5 extra for every extra account. No, we need to dream big. Unlimited accounts. Beat World of Warcraft. Don't just try to be World of Warcraft like EOC was. Beat them at their own game. Give us unlimited character slots on a single account. Why not? See how crazy people can go. How many, the fucking videos would be, how many accounts can I make on Jagex's thing before it crashes or some shit? You know what I mean? Like, people would go crazy with it. They'd love it. Steak Eater says, let's be honest, if people say $78 is ideal, they'll only let us play 2 max for 15. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We need to dream big. We need to dream big. Unlimited character slots or I quit. I got other games to play, motherfucker. Yeah, I love this game with like my whole heart. But you know what? A heart can also be broken. Okay? Feels like it's been stepped on. Logbro says, no, hold on, yeah, I saw that one. Uh-oh, Scooby says, this guy kisses his dad on the lips. No, I just want to kiss my fish. I don't kiss my dad. I just want to kiss my fish. Logbro says, how do you deal with the bots if you allow a lot of memberships on one account? That's probably the reason they've avoided it for so long. Yeah, that's a major concern. Good point. Do you just start VAC banning Jagex accounts? What if they false ban people like they have been? This is a good point. This is a good point. How do you deal with bots if we just allow people to have for $15 or whatever multiple accounts? I get it. That's something I thought about, and I don't know exactly. You gotta the anti-cheating team hopefully would have a solution, but they don't even have a solution for current time. So that's a good question. Again, I don't know everything. Great question. If anybody else has an answer or solution, chime in. Scooby says no. I am Jagex. I say no. Lafameo. Okay. Right on. Okay. We're gonna take a little fiver, and then I think we're gonna put a bow on this. Okay. Be right back. How about that custom art that got done for me on Instagram? I wish I could know the name right now. It doesn't have a watermark or nothing to say the name. I'd get it wrong if I guessed, so I don't want to guess. But someone on Instagram did this artwork for me, and it's incredible, isn't it? I want to get another one with like the third dragon cup I got, but anyways, that's the whole thing. Be right back. I just want to kiss my fish. All right, we're coming back. Oh, here we go. Logbro says they have been banning bots pretty well. They've been doing pretty good. I'm sure. I'm sure they. It's a Sisyphean effort trying to get the bots out of the game. I think. Unfortunately, um, there are always going to be new techniques that the botters use, and they do have a wealth of accounts waiting in the back lines to a black market to be bought and sold, used for botting. Um, I think if they tried a little bit harder, they could get on top of it. I think it is an endless problem. I think there is like the potential to get on top of it, but they just haven't. They haven't figured it out yet. I don't know. What would it take? Those four magic words, man. What would it take? Logber also says, yeah, it needs work, and also bot makers have been making them at insanely large volume with all the new bot making software that's out there. It's tough, man. What do you got? What do you got to do? What would it take? Maybe you gotta pay off some of the top botters with you know, you gotta literally pay them off. That's what happened back in the day. They paid off a bunch of the bug abusers with like a year worth of membership if you gave good tips on bugs from the old school era when they made old school a thing. They paid off bug abusers with like up to a year memberships to divulge their secrets about the old game. I mean, what would it take? Pay off some of the botters. Get a hold of them. Figure out who's who. Trade secrets. Get down and dirty with them. How you guys doing this shit, man? We want to get on top of it. We want this game to survive. What would it take? I don't know. I'm not, again, not the perfect solution. Uh, all right. Things have kind of died down, and so we're gonna finish this up here. Also, I think I've said the same thing over and over and over, so y'all heard it, man. We're gonna go over my girlfriend. Shout out Zinnia Sage. Uh, helped me write out a bunch of these talking points. We're gonna just run through them real quick. All right. Um, feels like no pores are allowed. And that's kind of a Jimmy joke a little bit, but if that's what it feels like. It feels like they're trying to shut out the people who can't afford it. No more Venezuelans, no poor people. They just want people who can afford it. And unfortunately, there's a little bit even in the comments. Just while I've been doing this video, there's a little bit of culture of snobbishness. People are like, if you can't afford it, just go do something else, or like go get a job or some shit. Like um, I come from homelessness. When I first started this channel, I was living in a van, dude. I was streaming leagues out of my Ford Windstar van using Lowe's Wi-Fi, sometimes Panera, but I got kicked out of Panera, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have much. RuneScape is one of the only things I have. It was I was happy to use it to try and make money even. I got this channel monetized and I even had some sponsors and stuff. But when that survey came out, that was the straw that broke the camel's back and I quit. I quit, dude. For months and I only came back a little bit. Like just I tried coming back because I felt like the game was in a better state and I could give it another chance and then they come out with this fucking membership hike. This isn't an update for us. This is an update for a couple of executives that are blaming inflation, that are blaming like post-COVID price rises. It's not COVID anymore. We don't need to charge as much for things anymore. Also, adjusted for inflation, the price of membership would cost like $8.50. You want to talk about inflation? Okay, the $5 membership price adjusted for inflation would cost $8.50. But it costs almost, they're trying to charge almost twice that. How do they get off with that? They're trying the real value, the quintessential value of RuneScape was that it was free and easy to access and affordable for being a member with a lot of content. That's not the truth anymore. And RuneScape used to be accessible. It doesn't feel like it's trying to be accessible. It feels like it's trying to shut out more people. They're trying to charge AAA game prices for a point-and-click adventure game. Let's be honest, guys. All of Gielinor and all of its players can fit on a 2 gig flash drive. Okay? Seriously. The amount of data that it takes to stream this on a mobile phone, like just to play it, I mean, was like less than 200 megabytes a month. Like, I worried that it would like playing this game would ruin my data plan. It barely even touched it. This game is microscopic compared to other games. Okay? But they're trying to charge us the exact same price as like World of Warcraft with all of its higher graphics and all of its crazier things. They're trying to charge us the same price while not giving us the main concession of the multiple characters. That's the one thing that the whole thing about the survey was they wanted to test our feelings on all these different like payment plans. And one of the offers was we're going to give you possibly more character slots, but you just got to pay more. And they said, no, we're not paying more than World of Warcraft for the same thing to have multiple character slots. They haven't learned their lesson. And this is the main thing that I'm going to harp on over and over and over again is the multiple character slots. I won't shut up about it because they're not listening. I feel like this is the great battle of 8. The ideal inflation accurate price for membership would be $8 a month. Ideally, we would have no fewer than 8 character slots for that $8 a month. And this update isn't for all of us millions of players. This is for 8 executives sitting in a boardroom meeting trying to decide what lever to pull to try and squeeze more money out of us. This isn't for us. This is the great battle of 8. The multiple characters per single paid account is a massive missed W from almost 2 years ago when that survey came out that they just left on the table. The Jagex launcher already allows us to have multiple characters loaded in to our Jagex launcher, so the infrastructure is there. But they refuse to give it to us without paying what they want. Look at this guy. Jazzy Hands. Come on down, Jazzy Hands. I see you. Come on down. Come to the bar over here. Yeah, that's the spirit. Come on down. It feels like they're saying, oh, we can't do our jobs unless you pay us more. It's like, no, just do your jobs. How about that? I have a lot of complaints over the last couple years. The Doom boss devalued, like the, what's that staff? The Osto Ayak or whatever. What's that fucking stick? That fucking stick with all the eyeballs on it that came out. That fucking stick, whatever the fuck it's called, devalued my Shadow of Tumikin from over $1 billion to 600 million. Honestly, I was feeling suicidal. I know it sounds stupid, but like I earned that shadow and it was so important to me and it was the coolest thing ever. And I felt like the crowning jewel of my like RuneScape achievement and it lost like 50% of its value. Like almost overnight. And that was a huge that was the main that was another reason I quit again. I quit again because I came back for a little while after the survey. I came back for a little while and then the Doom came out and my shadow went from like 1 point at its highest it was at 1.4 bill, and when I sold it it was like 6.5 650 mil. Less than half of its true value. Um yeah, my bank was totally in shambles. What I had left I gave like half away. I was so upset. That's just like one thing. It's just like they want us to pay more, but then things like this happen. You know, my shadow got devalued, man. That was my whole bank, dude. The Yama boss had bugged contracts when it came out. Couldn't It was impossible to complete some of the contracts when on release. The League's 5 rewards, a lot of them were bugged. I forget what it was. Two or three of them were untradeable. One of them was unusable. The Virtus mask had no stats when you put the visual upgrade on it. The League's four no the League's 5 Dragon Cup was honestly less visually interesting than the first Dragon Cup. Like they went back. Like they was very lazy is all I could say. And then the survey. Like I think I've talked enough about the survey. But also, when another thing is like when sailing came out, I lost my max capes. I had to I had to go get my imbued god capes back. I had to go get another assembler. I had to go get another fire cape. I had to and then I've just been sitting there salvaging for hundreds of hours. It feels like trying. I'm only 93 at this point. Like just so I could maybe go like raid again with like my good gear and stuff, my good capes and stuff. It just felt like even though sailing was kind of fun, it just felt like an unnecessary speed bump to the content I really want to do. And so I felt a little sour about that. Even though so it's like they want me to pay extra for something that annoyed me, kind of. Um, And that being said, they're making a lot of money from all sorts of things. Leagues is a huge money maker. The last leagues that came out, I calculated they made over 18 million from memberships renewals during that time. When they released Dragon Wilds, they made over 6 million. This company's not struggling, folks. Um, it doesn't have that many employees that it needs to have so much. Um, Dragon Wilds. Do you remember Dragon Wilds? That was a asset, an assets dump, pump and dump. Like just they totally like you could tell that they had taken some Valorant type game that some developer had made, bought it because it was incomplete for like 100,000 quid, and then like threw the wise old man and a whip in it and called it RuneScape themed, and they made like $20 a pop off of that. They made $6 million off of Dragon Wilds just to forget about it. Like who plays that anymore? Who remembers that even? Most people played it just to make fun of it and then never picked it up again. Was something that my girlfriend mentioned, and then just to get money, just to get numbers. Meanwhile, RuneScape trying to rise its prices while really not listening to its players or doing anything to help us. Other free games are doing great, like Warframe is doing it right. Warframe is in a golden age right now. People are quitting Destiny by the droves to go play Warframe. People who've never heard of Warframe are checking it out. And I had tried just mentioning it to my girlfriend, and then somebody at work also mentioned it to my girlfriend, and they were like, okay, it's been mentioned more than once. I think it's time to check it out. They checked it out. We fell in love with Warframe together. My girlfriend is higher mastery rank than I am in Warframe. And together we gleefully have spent hundreds of dollars on their premium in-game currency because we appreciate the way that the game is going, the way the devs have been updating it, and just the general vibe. We don't feel bad about spending money because we love that game and we support it. Meanwhile, RuneScape, arguably my favorite game of all time, I feel really remiss spending any money on it because of the strained relationship between Jagex and its customers. Let me see here. 2-for-1 bonds? Why not? Why not do a 2-for-1 bond or a free bond or a free month of membership or a half off or a loyalty bond? Anybody that's been a member for over a year on their account gets a free bond. Why not? Why the fuck not? Oh, it devalues the economy or something. Okay, maybe we can have these arguments, but just why not? What would it take? Why not do some fun freebies? You know, Warframe, one of the things we like about it most is every couple of weeks or every month or so, they give us like 50% off platinum, 100, sometimes 200% bonus platinum on your purchase, 2 times extra on top of what you're already buying. 3-for-1 basically. Where's that kind of deal in RuneScape? That kind of deal is what gets us to excited to spend. Literally, me and my girlfriend have the conversation. I've said it earlier. How much do you want to spend on this deal? It's a good deal. How about as much as we can? Yeah, okay. I'm down with that. That's the conversation we've had multiple times when they do these deals. If Jagex did like 2-for-1 bonds, loyalty bonds, if they did like, you know what I mean? People would like, if they did like for every year that you subscribe, like for every like 12, like how about this? Every 11 months you subscribe, you get a month for free. It's a loyalty thing. You get a little extra, you know, you stuck around for a year, here's that last little bit for free. And Log Bro, yes, I did get the messages. I was just trying to read through. I had some notes here. I really wanted to get through most of those. Log Bro says, la 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 la. This has been a fun conversation. You get a sub, and I am in solidarity with you and the rest of World 302. Thank you so much, Log Bro, for your support. Thanks for the solidarity and the subscribe too, man. Hell yeah. And Log Bro also says, fight the greedy venture capitalists ruining my favorite game. Hell yeah. Yes, I got those messages. Thank you. Thank you, Log Bro, for the support, the sub, and all that, man. Last of these notes. What if League was open to everybody? Leagues is the most profitable, most fun adventure. What if everybody could play it for free? What if everybody got a taste of not only the excuse me, not only the what am I looking for? The extra experience rates or whatever, but also they get to experience members for free. Why not? They could have an event. I don't know. Maybe it's a dumb idea. It's just something I'm throwing out there. Free to play. Everybody could try it. Free to play players could try members' skills, members' areas, and the extreme experience rates. And I don't know. Maybe it could be just a 2-week thing. Maybe a 2-week league or something like that. A 2-week free league. Why not? Why not? I don't know. Seems silly, maybe. Why not? Might get people in. Things I did in leagues made me feel like I could do them in the main game, is what my girlfriend wrote here. Yeah, being able to beat the fire cave. Excuse me, fire cape. You know what I'm talking about. Get a fire cape. I mixed them together. Being able to get a fire cape in leagues made my girlfriend feel like they could do it in the main game. Doing Beneath Cursed Sands made my girlfriend feel like they could do it in the main game. They did it. Doing Toa made it feel like they could really do it because this you had all the power ups and all the boosts, but we can finally do it. We can try it out in a environment where it's not as stressful, it's easier, and I still get the experience to know what I'm up against. It was really important, and I think that could be cool. If everybody could get to try out leagues, I think they could try what they want to. They could dip their toes in to the membership. What if how about this? So it doesn't crash the economy. What if everybody got a free Iron Man account for a month? You couldn't trade, and you couldn't drop trade either. Maybe they put a restriction. You couldn't drop trade or something on that one Iron Man. But you could try it out. And you got membership for a month. You get to try out everything you can do in the game for a month for free. Get people in. It's a freebie. It gets people excited, makes them feel like the game, like Jagex was generous rather than greedy. Maybe gets them in the door. I don't know. Again, I've been throwing out a lot of different ideas. They're not all great, but you know what happened? EA Skate took away the freebies. EA Skate had something they were doing. They were giving away free battle pass currency and free like they had event currency too that they were giving away for free. And occasionally you could get a free board or a t-shirt or sticker or something. They just give it to you for free. Well, they recently updated to season 3 and they removed all the freebies. You can no longer get a free battle pass tickets or a free board or anything. They took away the freebies. And so I just deleted the game, bro. It's over. And so that's exactly what's going to happen to RuneScape for a lot of us. We're not playing around, Jagex. You think that we're just going to quit and come back in a month or something? No. We're serious. If you won't learn your lesson, if you won't give us the multiple character slots for a single paid membership, if you won't fix concerns, if you maybe don't, if you don't listen to us, we're just going to leave. I think they overvalue the stranglehold that they have on a lot of us. They really think that we can't survive without old school RuneScape. And it feels like that to a lot of us. But when you rip that band-aid off, it's not so bad. There are a lot of other great games out there. This may be your only game you play, but there are a lot of other great games out there. Just try something out, man. I've been really addicted to Session Skate Sim. It's the most realistic skating game I've ever played. I can do some really intricate tricks on there. I've been growing a second channel. I'm almost 500 subscribers. Just playing Session. Just skating around, dude. It's been great. And they're not charging me any more money. I bought that game, I own it. I don't need to pay no fucking monthly membership. I don't need to do there's no community drama. It's just a fun game I like to play, man. And maybe if RuneScape is doing you wrong, you can find your game. You can find something else for you to do, I hope that you find your game if RuneScape does us wrong. But I also really hope that they listen to us and we can get some concessions out of this. Again, give us the multiple character slots. That's the big thing. I almost would shut the fuck up if they would just do that. But this is a long-standing strain of a relationship between the characters and the players, and I couldn't stay silent anymore. There's a lot of people calling me brokey or neckbeard, saying I need to touch grass or get a job. Whatever. I just had to speak my mind and let it be heard. And I'm frustrated about this. Jagex has been taking a lot of easy W's and high alchemizing them into straight L's. And so I thought I'd give my 2 cents. Thank you so much for listening, guys. This is the end. I appreciate you watching this Riot coverage and my little multi-hour rant about how I feel this game could be a little better. Hopefully. Why not? And what would it take?